I wish I could own my own business and walk every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. I feel
It's
like
really intense.
yeah, apparently.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay, I swear. It looks like everything is recording over there. If it doesn't work,
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
going
I
to...
went on such a massive tangent.
No, it's okay.
I swear. All right.
I swear, if it doesn't work, I'm going to chuck that board out the window because I hate it so much. I feel like technology hated me last week, but with that...
You know what though? You gotta think about it this way. What channel am I? I'm on 2?
Yes.
You gotta think about it this way though. We're using this stuff, right, in the studio, and then we've discovered all the things that could be a problem.
That's true.
Indeed.
So
That's
then
true.
we troubleshooted them. So now you know that board in and out. Imagine chucking it and then having to get a new board and having to learn that board and going through all the problems again.
Oh, no, I just burned this place down.
Just burn the place down.
And with that, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Roasto with myself, imaginary friend Jack, and the one and only Darkosto.
Hey.
And we are joined again today by the amazing, the wonderful, the inevitable Gray.
To be fair, you say again,
Yes,
but nobody else knows what you're talking about.
I was going to explain.
The lost episodes, the archived episodes.
Yes, apologize for this episode being later than normal, but yeah.
It's my fault.
No, it's not your fault.
It's actually my fault. Technically.
I don't
We
know.
were standing around weeks ago. This feels like it was months ago.
Yeah.
But it was like 2
Oh
weeks
God,
ago.
yeah, it was
Yeah, it
forever
does.
ago.
So Gray was standing in the hall, and we're just gonna hang out.
Yeah,
while we
I
did
was
this
just gonna play
podcast.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which sounds awesome, by the way. And so I offered for them to come on the show, and we didn't have a setup for a third mic.
We didn't.
And I said, I've got another mic, and we went out, oh, just set it up. So it's my fault because I offered, because I thought it would be a good time to have a guest on the show.
It's a perfect storm.
Yeah.
Perfect storm
It was.
situation.
It was. And I feel like that week, technology just hated me. I had a lot of trouble with a lot of tech. But
You know,
that week is over.
I was thinking about this. You know why old people like...
I love the way this is starting. You know why old people...
Let's
you know-
isolate that audience real quick.
That's right. Do you know why older people like old school TV and cable?
What is that?
Because it works, right? Did you ever just think about that? It works, and
You
there's
just
hardly
plug
any
it in.
troubleshooting. Yeah,
Yeah.
you plug it in and you
Just
turn it on.
Plug and
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
That makes
Technology, you get like a Fire TV. Like I have a Fire TV, and I swear to God, that thing like disconnects or does all these things wrong all the time.
Right.
And then ask a person who's not like technology literate to then figure that out. They would go crazy.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
It's like all these invisible connections in the air. And
Yeah.
My parents aren't old, at all, but they still are already at the
Are
point.
you saying that because they might listen? You want to be like, you don't want to say
No,
they're
I just
old?
legitimately they're not old. But
What is old to you?
I mean, they're not even 50 yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah, I
yeah.
had
Whoa.
friends when I was like 11 whose parents were 50
I
already.
think my
They're old
parents. I think my
They are
parents
old
turned
now.
50 this year.
They're older.
Wow.
That's really sexy. I'm sorry. I don't have an issue with old people. I was just thinking about how long
No
ago this may have
geriatrics
been.
allowed.
You heard it here, folks. Darkosto has a problem with the elderly.
I'm just thinking about
Oh, no.
how long ago that was.
It goes back to the bingo conversation we had in the Lost episode.
We had a
Oh,
bingo
yes.
conversation. Wait, are we going to try and release this episode previous
so
as
what-
a lost episode? But then
what
you'll
I
be
was-
missing. Sorry, go ahead.
No. What I was gonna say is for that. I don't think we should try to recapture that magic or whatever it was. It was fun. It was a great episode.
I had a delightful time.
It was. The only problem with it is we just don't have your audio.
right.
But if
Maybe
people,
like the tiniest whisperings of a mouse
Yeah,
in the
that
background
I
of your
can't-
audio.
I can't really boost.
So I can't tell my bingo story again?
You
I
can.
tell the story like once a week to everybody.
You can tell it. No, you can tell
a
it.
great story.
That's totally fine. But if people want that episode and they just want me to release it, I can.
Yeah. Just be missing.
Yeah, you'll
part of
just
the
be missing
conversation.
part of it here and there. But like
I
that
don't
is
really
that
talk
is
that
for
much.
you talked a fair amount.
Listen, you talk a lot, all right? I don't
I don't know if it's an insult or a threat.
That's That's why I pointed my finger at you when I said
But
it.
remember, when you do that, you got 3 pointing back at you. But yeah, so if people want that, then let us know. You got to let us know in the comments. You got to let us know, via email at theroasto@gmail.com. I would happily do it, but I just don't want to put content out there that's not like finished, basically.
Right, you listen to it and you're like, wait, something's missing.
But if
Yeah.
people are really jonesing and they're like, yeah, no, we would love to hear that, even though there's a part missing.
I need the podcast.
I was about to say scratching their arms.
Need it. They're just chasing that dragon, just trying to get more podcasts.
They gotta get it. They gotta get it. I need more of the
How am I gonna do my chores?
I hope people listen to us while they're doing their chores. I hope we make the day better for people.
Like folding socks,
Folding socks. You know what you should do? Here's a good tip. Throw out all your socks. And then buy 3 packages of the exact same sock. Mm-hmm. And you'll never have to match them again.
That's true. That is a good point.
You just throw them in a tub.
just toss them
But
in there.
literally last time I was here and we tried this, I was wearing cute cat socks and you complimented them. You liked them.
Right, so that's why you should throw out all of them except those and just buy 3 packs of cute cat socks.
But then I have radish socks that are really cute.
Yeah.
Okay, but you have to match those. See, that's different. You're
That's okay. Last time
complicated.
I ended up I wore 2 different socks.
Oh yeah, you had pizza and popcorn.
I had
right?
I had popcorn and sushi.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm wearing my sushi socks today because it's something that
You ever worn 2 different shoes?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, and it was hysterical.
Yeah.
Because I was basically wearing a boot, like a cowboy boot,
Yep.
and then a tennis shoe.
It's very different.
Yeah.
It's not the same at all.
No, it wasn't.
Is your life a sitcom?
Sometimes. I do sometimes kind of just stare off at an invisible camera because I feel like I'm losing my mind.
No, that's because you're a ham.
That's true. So, it's been about 2 weeks since we've done this. How's your life, Darkosto?
Let's see. I work at home now for the time being because my Ash, my significant other, is laying in bed because her foot had surgery on it. She had to get it.
So she didn't have surgery on her foot. Her foot had surgery.
Yeah.
Yes.
Her
It
foot
elected it on its
independently
own
of
and-
her.
Totally. Yeah. It's all covered by insurance. It's crazy.
Wild.
Right. So anyway, she's been in bed, totally bored, and I'm at home, working and streaming from home so that I can keep an eye on her if she's dying, in case she dies.
Gets gangrene.
Yeah.
You just finally hit the point where you're like, she's got it. It's
Just
fine.
cut it
She's
off.
good. I put next to her a big table thing on the bed that has laptop, fruit snacks, trail mix, and protein bars. She has water. I made sure I watered her and
A bowl of water.
I imagine the bedroom is just looks like a giant hamster cage now. Just when Ash needs to get water, crawl over.
Yep. She's gotta get one of those. She's got
sorry,
the chips,
Ash.
little wood chips or whatever that
Yeah.
She's got
The
got
cats
this.
are losing their minds.
Oh yeah, she has a scooter, this knee scooter.
Oh yeah,
my
I've seen
gosh,
those.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So she's scooting around, and every time if I was cleaning yesterday, and I was pulling a whole bunch of stuff out in the way, and she was running stuff over. And the cats get freaked out, and they're running, like Godzilla's coming through the apartment. But it's just because animals hate stuff like vacuum cleaners and rolly things, So they're freaking
It's
out.
unnatural.
Yeah.
That's great. You need to get her a little horn for it too. Yeah.
It's got brakes on it.
It has brakes.
It's got brakes on it. Well, only actually one brake, but it's the front brake. It's the front brake, which is the worst only brake to have because you can flip over the handlebars.
I'm just imagining her rolling down a hill and then just
In what
Yeah,
situation is she going to be getting that much speed? Is she going to join
Rolling down a hill. We live in a hilly place. Have you seen some
That's
of the
true.
hills?
That's true. We've
Plus,
been near your place.
You
So.
get fast enough and you can't use that brake. So then you're in this whole conundrum of should I brake or else I'm going to flip over the handlebars or should I just let it roll right out?
I rode my bike to work for the first time last week, and there's
Sorry,
a huge
am I
hill.
stabbing you with my foot under
No.
the table?
I didn't
Okay.
even realize that your feet were within range of mine. I'm just moving. I like to move my leg around. I wrap my leg around the chair of the leg of the chair.
the chair of the leg of the chair.
Chair of the leg of the chair, yeah.
It's
I'm
like
just
that
wrapping
song.
my
It's
body
the chair
around
of
it.
the leg of the leg of the chair of the chair of the leg of the sea.
I'm just wearing my like pointy witch shoes, so like it would legitimately feel like I was poking you with like a knife.
Aren't they?
Yeah. Sorry, continue.
No, you're good. No, I was just gonna say I can relate to Ash's conundrum with speed because I rode my bike to the office for the first time last week. I just chose to randomly ride 4 miles for the first time. No build up, no nothing. You know, it was just like, okay, 4 miles there, 4 miles back, whatever. But we have 2 really big hills. And I was like, okay, the first one's right by our apartment. I'm not going to do that one because it's way too steep. But I thought, second one, it's fine. I've got enough braking time. So I start off and I start hitting the brakes and I'm like, I'm not really slowing down. And there's a stoplight coming up and it's yellow. It's not going to be green by the time I turn. So I'm like kind of kicking my shoe down, trying to like, stop. These brakes are not tight enough. I haven't adjusted anything. All of a sudden I'm like, all right, I'm going into traffic. And then the turn, like the green arrow for the right turn I had to make comes up and I'm like, yes, wee! I just whipped around the corner. Luckily, there's no cars behind me, and I'm just like, well, I know what I gotta fix later.
Oh my god, you almost died.
I did. Yeah. Luckily, I was wearing a helmet.
You think that would have been it? That was the saving phrase right there. That was gonna fix everything.
It would have helped immensely.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I was able to get slow enough to where if I had to like dive off the bike, I could have.
See, in my mind, this story is you flying down at like 40 miles an hour, but realistically, it's probably like 4.
Maybe, I don't know. I was keeping pace with a car at one point, so you know. And
that really depends, though. I mean, because there's like freeway speeds, there's residential road speeds.
The speed limit there is 35. So
you were 35? You whipped around a turn at 35 on a bike?
I'd probably say maybe
I'm gonna go with no.
No, but
because
like
you
when I
would
was
have done quite a few flips.
Yeah, and I would have been the amazing flying imaginary friend.
Yeah,
you
and it
wouldn't
would
have had
fun.
an arm.
Do you know how Inside Out Boy became Inside Out Boy, right? He flipped over the bar when he was on the swing set.
Oh.
So you would have flipped over something and you could have turned into some kind of an Inside Out imaginary friend boy.
That would have been fun. I mean, it wouldn't have been. I'd been in the hospital, but you know.
Yeah, but I mean, and that's where they discover your powers.
Yeah,
because they try to like poke you with needles and the needles just bend and then they're like, then there's some kind of like
Cage
radiation.
it a little bit, you know. Yeah.
It'd
be great. Yeah, a super imaginary friend Jack. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should literally be your alter ego.
Yeah.
There it is.
I like it.
It's like Clark Kent. He would call himself Super Clark Kent. It's like everybody knows. That they didn't know anyways because he just took his glasses off and he was like, I'm different now.
I know, right? No, it's I know you're not a big fan of anime, but do you know of Dragon Ball Z?
I know of Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
So they have a character in that whose name is Guru, right?
Okay.
And they have another character of the same like alien race whose name's Kami, and Kami in Japanese is God. And there's this parody series where these guys they're huge on YouTube for a long time called Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and they like just chopped the show into much more like bite-sized chunks.
Vegeta.
Yeah, and did like all they redubbed it and everything, and it's hysterical to watch. Right. You don't even have to know the show, and it's funny. But they get to the point where they meet Guru. And they're like, oh, hey, we have a Namekian on our planet, on Earth, called Kami. And the guy who's doing Guru, he goes, oh, so he calls himself God, does he? And he's like, and he looks at his like assistant and he goes, Nail, from now on, I want to be called Super Kami Guru. Wait, no, Super Guru. It's just like... And he had like the way they deliver the line because like the voice that he uses is hysterical. And that episode actually came out. It reminds me, that episode came out when I was going to Santa Fe for the first time to look at the college I was going to. And my buddy and I were quoting this show the entire time. And my mother and my grandmother had come along to go to check this place out. And they were getting so annoyed. Like, I'm about to get smacked in the back of the head while driving, annoyed. And my buddy's in the seat beside me, and we've just checked out the college, and we're going to Starbucks, right?
Yep.
This is before I knew there was better coffee in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
That just ended that whole potential sponsorship.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I mean, they could change your mind.
They could if they would just get better about cleaning their equipment.
Change my mind, Starbucks.
Yeah.
Show me what you can do.
But
Show me what you got.
but my mom's in the back seat and she just goes, "Stop it. Just stop doing that stupid freaking voice. I'm so done." And of course, at that time, we pull up right at the drive-thru. Mm-hmm. And my buddy looks at me and he goes, "You gotta." And so I roll down the window and they go, "Hi, welcome to Starbucks. How may I help you?" And I just go, "I need a tall white chocolate mocha." And all of a sudden we just hear coming from the box. And the guy is just like dying, but he's giggling. And then there's that sound in the background. And we're like, what is going on? And he's just like, "Here's your total. Let's go." So we pull up and he's like got like the hands clasped like praying thing. He's like, "Dude, that was so awesome. I mess with my customers and do voices all the time." And then he goes, "But the thing is you got my manager dying.
Yep.
Like she wants to come over here and meet you." And I'm like,
"What?"
And I'm like,
What is your life?
Well, she goes,
I think you're lying.
No, he goes,
this whole story
he goes,
is based on so much luck.
It really is.
If it actually happened, can you imagine? Because
I have witnesses.
How many
to
baristas
this.
do you think that are as work at Starbucks in this country? A lot.
Too many.
So the fact that you happened to get one that did voices.
Yeah, dude,
he
if
just
that were me, I would have hated you.
Oh no,
Wow.
but here's the best. Here's the best part. Here's the best part. He goes. So the thing is you've got our manager dying laughing, and I'm like, oh, that must be where that like sound was coming from, that like high pitch and
The pterodactyl sound.
Yeah, and he goes, but the thing is our headset system is down, so we have you guys on speaker for the orders. So the entire Starbucks heard it.
I don't believe this.
No,
I choose not to believe
I
this.
have witnesses. I have witnesses, and he upped the size of the coffee and was like, "Here you go."
And
dude."
he got a bigger coffee?
Yep, I still had to pay for it, but he upped it.
You just keep stacking it on.
There's a group on Facebook called That Totally Happened. That happened so hard that it made real things that happened unhappen.
Did everybody clap?
No, nobody clapped. No, I actually got chewed out afterwards because
From your mom
and my grandmother like, "You don't ever do stuff." But I like that was like a time in my life where I was like, I don't care about a lot of things. I messed with people in drive-thrus all the time.
You say that was a time in your life, as if that time has ended, because literally maybe like a week ago we were in Taco Bell and you're like, $5 and I'll do a funny voice in the drive-thru.
Wait.
Never do something for free if you're good at it.
You offered Gray to give you $5
Yeah.
that to do a voice at
Yeah.
Taco Bell last week.
My literal response was, first of all, I don't have $5 to give you. Second of all, I wouldn't even have to pay you. You already want to do it.
That and also, isn't this how significant others works? Isn't it just the same? Would it be you giving yourself $5? Was it the same as you taking it out of one pocket and putting the other pocket?
I would have just put it in our travel fund.
Yeah,
honestly,
we have shared finances, so it's like
right. So you were.
it's like high-fiving yourself with money.
So you were, right. So you didn't. So did you do the voice?
No, because I didn't get $5.
What voice were you gonna do?
I don't know. I had a couple in mind. I mean, there's
Was
one.
it your Lululemon voice?
I don't think anybody's ready for Lululemon. Okay, so there's the thing.
I'm ready.
Okay, so I
Just keep it PG, man.
yeah,
Just
I will
keep it
because
PG.
Lulu's pretty R-rated.
Oh.
But
Because you're so weird.
I know, but so I don't know, how did we come up with Lulu the character?
I was talking to you about clothing because I have a friend who's basically in the fashion industry.
Right.
And I was talking to you about how Lululemon is just ridiculously overpriced workout
Ruining that
yoga.
sponsorship too.
Oh,
Prove us wrong, Lulu.
Lululemon is a workout clothing line.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like yoga apparel.
It's called Lululemon.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Which I have no idea what that
Yoga
translates into.
yoga apparel.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So it's basically just crappy, super thin tights that are, $80.
Yeah, they're more for fashion than they are for actually working out.
So they're for
Right.
yoga, but not really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They're for looking like you do yoga.
I have the money to look like I do.
I'd say there's a Prius story, but you go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're
Yeah, no. But basically, yeah, you had the same reaction where I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, blah, 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 Lululemon, da, 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 da. And you're like, Lululemon? What is that?
Like, what does it mean?
And I'm
I
like, that's true. It sounds like a person. And then I started doing the kind of a derivative of the, oh God, what's her name? Everybody says, I hate saying this, but everybody says she has a horse face.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
That one.
oh my God, I love that you just got that.
Sarah Jessica Parker has a horseface.com. That's
Is a website? Oh my God.
I don't like commenting
I know.
on
I always
people's
feel bad for
appearances.
saying that, but it's been a joke for quite a long
Yeah,
time.
like,
that's
It's
why I
like back
knew-
when Ed Wood came out.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, she did a fantastic job in that movie, and she looked great in that movie. But
And she's a
She's
really
like
good
a gorgeous
actress, too.
lady.
oh, sorry, is it Sarah Jessica Parker? Looks like a horse.com.
Oh God. Oh God, that's so mean.
Oh no.
She doesn't.
They've just cherry picked a bunch of pictures, and they found a matching picture of a horse to share that same face and everything like
Oh
that.
my
This
God.
site has been around for quite a long time. I agree. It's pretty mean.
It is
because
very
it's making
mean.
That's
fun of her.
horrible.
But it's funny. First of all, let's be clear. You said.
Well, no, I said people say that she
Yeah.
looks like a
We're
horse.
just perpetuating.
I just knew that.
No.
I just knew that would be the recognizable because I'm so bad at like
No, it's just funny
remembering actresses
because.
and
I'm not
actors.
saying, no, it's not, you're not. I'm not saying you said it, but it's
That's
funny
how it came up.
because
Right.
because
Now people know about this website because all right, great.
Yeah, I'm
Yep,
not cutting this.
great.
it's so.
Anyway, I was doing a riff on the Sex and the City thing, which finally the show name comes to mind,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
could have totally evaded that whole situation.
It's okay.
But anyway, it's a riff on a joke. That
sorry if I made you feel
people have
bad.
done. No, it's fine. But it's a riff on a joke where like you do the like my name is blah 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 and I'm from
Oh,
blah
yeah.
blah blah, and then it kind of evolved from there because like I started doing this really weird voice for a characterized version of a person named Lululemon.
Yep.
Like my name is Lululemon.
My name's Lulu. And then it got to the point where it was basically just I started honking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah. Oh my God, I remember that day. We were literally driving down the road, and he was like, I can't even do it.
I'll
it
do
was
it.
so
I'll do it.
loud.
So let me move back.
Oh,
so,
boy.
The noise that I make is.
This is the person.
My name's Lulu.
Does Lulu wears the clothes too? Okay.
And Lulu.
She owns the company.
So
I own
we're not
Lululemon.
okay with making fun of Sarah Jessica Parker for looking like a horse or
No,
old
this
people.
is a fictional Lululemon.
But-
I don't
but
know
we
if
can-
Lululemon
Is
is a real
Lululemon a real
person.
person?
People who wear Lululemon are
no,
totally
no.
fair game.
No.
Oh, I get it now.
No, it's the character.
No. I don't care if anybody wears Lululemon. I just like to make fun of like.
Yeah,
the-
dude, whatever. Enjoy your life.
And I Lulu does weird things with lemons. Like that's the whole
What?
character.
That-
Yeah.
she just
What does that mean?
She
Like, she
produces
produces lemons.
She
Like
produces
just
them.
spits them up.
Yeah, it'll just
you
be
know,
like
sweats
in
them.
the middle of like
I don't
a
know.
Just
Jack gets
normal
weird.
body stuff. Like I blow my nose, but there's lemons instead.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it'll be like.
Oh, that's producing a lemon
Yeah.
Yeah.
out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Do you like my lemon?
Oh my god. What does she do with these lemons though? Like where do they?
She just leaves
She
them.
just leaves them
Oh.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you think anybody's eaten these lemons?
Oh, no.
I hope so. If so,
Oh.
Wait, so let me understand that you have this character who just like exudes lemons
and exudes and also consumes them in ways not humanly possible.
that's like eating your boogers.
yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah,
Like-
Jack will. So here's the thing about Jack, right? Imaginary friend Jack has a vast imagination.
Yeah, sounds like it.
And you start a joke,
Uh-huh.
and it's like, haha, that's funny.
Yeah.
And then, it gets into the range of like inside joke, right? Where it's like, it's not really funny anymore, but you guys think it's funny.
Right.
And then it gets into Jack levels.
I'm feeling so called out right now, but it's all true.
This is beyond. You like, so it's like, so your jokes are the last season of Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Like they should have moved on, or at
Like-
least.
Sometimes.
Like,
yeah.
man, it has roots in something that's really funny,
Yeah.
but you're just so disappointed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's because like it's sometimes I just don't know when to let it go, and that is
And
why-
that's what's funny to you.
Yeah.
It's like seeing me get exasperated and just be like, what the hell are you saying?
It's like reactionary. You like the reaction.
What
I
are you
do. It's
doing?
just the like I'll do that voice sometimes. Like we'll just be like sitting on the couch like watching something, and like randomly like it'll pop into my head. Oh, I haven't done Lulu in forever, and I'll just.
Yeah, a checklist. You use a checklist. You're like,
Yeah, I-
who's not visited in a long time?
I do. We have a rabbit in our like a stuffed rabbit that houses one of the voices. His name's
yeah.
Monster.
By the way, you have this hair that's coming off of your left ear, and it like is so long, but it also is following the curvature of your ear. It's like a little headset.
Nice. Yes,
It's your
Okay,
built-in
it's good
earpiece.
it is. I like it.
I'm like totally keen to hairs because this morning when I was getting ready, there was a long white hair sticking right here, sticking straight out.
Oh,
And I didn't know where the tweezers were, and my hands
for everyone
were
who
still
doesn't
wet.
know where right.
You didn't know what tweezers were?
I didn't know that tweezers were an invention, and I did not know that
What
they
are these
exist.
things that tweeze?
What they go together in these little tiny metal things. I didn't know them, but then my hands were so wet from taking a shower, I couldn't get them dry enough, and I kept trying to pull it. And it curled up.
Oh yeah.
You know, I got
Oh,
it eventually.
I get those white hairs in my beard all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. For everybody who doesn't know where right here is, by the way, on Darkosto, it was like the back of the neck, kind of.
That was back behind my ear, the bottom, bottom of my neck there. It was just sticking right out.
Just visible enough. for
Yeah,
you to
no,
be
it was definitely
annoyed by
more
it.
than visible enough.
Oh.
It
It's
was
like,
like ridiculously visible.
just popped up overnight. Like I
Yeah.
hate when that happens.
Well, because I gave myself my own haircut, you know,
Mm-hmm.
so there's probably all these long hairs. I remember we did a video the other week,
Yeah.
and I didn't know that I had missed a significant portion of the top back of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like it had like a rooster thing going on back
It
there.
wasn't that bad.
So
It
like, so I gave
wasn't.
myself a haircut. One day I woke up and it was ridiculous. It was like too long and it was too hot, and I said, "This. I'm done. I'm done with this nonsense." So I got the trimmer, my beard trimmer.
Yeah.
And I put the guard on.
I don't know why I'm noticing your accent so much today.
I got an accent.
Yeah,
yeah?
Like it sounded like you
little
said
bit.
tremor.
Oh, my tremor?
Yeah.
Wait, what does the accent sound like?
I don't
Is
know.
it
I'm
like
just
a
noticing
region?
how you say things.
It's a kind of a blend of like a New England area.
It
kind
is
of.
a little
But you have-
northeasterny.
But you
America.
have like some southern twinges because
Yeah.
of your time that you spent in the South.
Yeah.
And so it's a unique accent.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
amalgamate voice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But you can like certain words that you say, yeah, like they come off as like
I say "ol" sometimes.
yeah, yeah. Like sometimes you have like a little bit of a draw from being in the South,
Yeah.
and then sometimes you like the pace in which you speak lends itself very much to like New England, like
Yep.
the syntax that you use. It's really fun when you start listening for those things.
Yep. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. It must be I am on the spectrum, autism spectrum. So like sometimes my brain will like fine tune on things, and I
Yeah.
think that's what's happening today. So sorry.
You could be who was it? Uhuru from Star Trek, who just sat there and listened.
Uhura?
Uhura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
thought, what
that-
did I say? Uhura. I always thought it was a weird name to say.
Yeah.
Anyways, you could do that really well because, like, if that's what you can, like, tune into that, and you
Just
can,
have
like,
that,
know all the
giant
dialects.
earpiece
Yeah, just have the
that like really should not stay in and must have really hurt after
I can't
a while.
imagine that it would stay in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just like every few well, I think if you watch the scenes where she's wearing that, if she's in the background, she's like always fiddling with it.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
like
so it's like
holding it
trying
so
to
it
like
doesn't
push it
fall out.
in or
Yeah.
like adjusting it, and like she would always like touch it and stuff like that, like just
Yep.
to make sure. Oh yes, I'm hearing things, Captain. Not that this is about to fall out of my ear.
Right.
Yeah.
What was I talking about?
Your tremors.
Yes.
Oh, my tremors.
Your trimmers.
My
Your hair
trimmers.
trimmer.
Oh yeah. My hair was too long, so it was actually, it's funny, as we were going to these side conversations. I knew there was an idea of a story that I was telling, and it was getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yep. Happens to me all the time. Don't worry.
I was like, I better grab it before it goes away. So I set my trimmers to like I don't know. I do my beard like 15 on the thing.
Right.
So, which I know these. So this is usually like a 3 on the sides, but that's not the same 3 because if I put it on 3 on mine, it'd be way.
Oh
way,
yeah, it's like
the numbers on my beard trimmer are way higher.
Okay, yeah.
Than they are like a hair.
I think they're millimeters instead of centimeters.
Yeah,
something like that.
So I just go. I put it to 17 or 18. It's longer than my beard because I was like, I want it to be a little bit longer than my beard, but not too short. So I put it in like 17 or 18, and then I don't really have a good way of testing it. So I just went right down the middle, and then I said, "This is too short."
Oh no!
And now I can't do anything because I can't make that part shorter.
You just went with the reverse mohawk.
Why would you?
I just went for it. You know.
Why not, like, behind your ear?
Goes back.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So I went. I just did row by row. There's hair everywhere, and that cat's trying to come in the bathroom and like shooing the cat away because I don't want the cat to start like licking up. Can you imagine the cat coughed up a fur ball of my fur? It's so weird. It can't be healthy. So then I'm shaving, right? And then I keep going with the back part, and I'm trying to go both directions, but you're supposed to go with your hair or something like that. But like I'm doing that, I did it like 50 times, and I will be honest with you. The back, like straight part of my hair, on my neck, where you're supposed to straighten it out and bring it up, I was straight, like nails on. That was like perfect. I had 3 mirrors. And I was like using them for angles so I could see the back and then also get it. I got that perfect. And I had this little trick where I took my finger and I laid it across and then I cross. So I used my finger as a ruler, right? And it was great. And then I was gonna get tape, painter's tape. I didn't do that. Anyways, so weeks go by. By the way, it was way too short. I definitely. It looked like I was balding more than I already do. So
you don't look like you're balding.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm losing my hair. All right, you don't make me feel bad. Don't make me feel good about it. All right.
Don't make you feel good. But dude, you could Bruce Willis it soon. Like it'd be perfect.
Don't you give me hope.
Don't you give me.
So weeks and weeks go by. We record a video. And it's from back behind me, and I'm watching this video, and my eyes immediately go to my head, which there's this hair that is like sticking out like a rooster, like a chicken kind of. What do they call that thing that sticks up out on their head?
The little pomp or plume or whatever.
Yeah, like it looks like a hand, right?
Yeah.
Or the turkey thing, right? It looks like that on the back of my head. And I was like, you know what I said? This is the best part. I said, Jack, I just realized there's this hair sticking out. He goes, oh yeah. He knew that it was there, and he never said anything. He never said anything to me.
It wasn't that bad.
He never said anything to me. I'll show you the video, and I want you to tell me. No, I'm gonna pull the video up right now. I want to see if you can notice.
I'm trying to find
how bad it was because it was definitely sticking up. It was up there. It was all the way up.
I was gonna say this isn't when I was around because I would have said something.
I would have rather said.
Like I have a brush, I have a comb. Like I'm a photographer, man. I've got the gear.
All right, here's the video. It's me standing at the. Do you see it? Immediately they saw it.
It looks like a ducktail.
It looks like a cowlick. It's fine.
I just want to point out to the audience who cannot see, Gray over here was like just immediately as soon as the camera pans out, hair, face, jaw drops, saw it.
I'm a bad filmmaker.
You're a bad photographer.
That's true.
Would have been even better is if you had seen it, but then you tried to edit it out, knowing that it was bad.
Just trying to mask out,
right, but never then bring it up to me. Yeah.
I can't find this photo. I'm sitting over here while you're talking. Your story reminds me of there's a Kevin Bacon film from like 2006 or something like that, 2007, called Death Sentence.
Yeah.
And in it, he shaves his head.
Right.
But they like literally just had him do it on set or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he had like longer hair, so he can't get all of it. And he ends up with this like
one take situation too.
Yeah. He like ends up having this like tail throughout like half the movie of just the back of his head, like with like just these wispy little bits. I'm like, trust me, your hair is not this bad. And I'm trying to find this photo, but I can't. And I'm like, the
whole premise that you were telling me sounds so ridiculous. He shaves it off.
Yeah, so he's like
supposed to be like he like people who have like you go on chemo or something like that, or their hair starts falling off, or they shave it off ahead of time. Right. They're supposed to like mimic that kind of like terminal.
He's not expecting to survive what he's about to do in the movie.
Right.
So like the movie is like
shaves his head.
Well, it's this revenge thriller, like, and he's like kind of like his.
Is it a revenge against his style or something?
No, it's a revenge against like basically like these thugs or whatever broke into his place, killed his family.
Oh, what? This whole episode is taking a turn.
I know, but like, but yeah, in this movie, like it's not a great movie. There is a really cool shot in it, but like he's like, I gotta blend in, like these guys are all like shaved head kind of like thug guys, and so he like shaves his head so he doesn't.
See, that's the context we needed.
Well, I was getting there, but yeah, and so like he shaves his head like before he like goes after these people, and again he's not like expecting to survive this whole ordeal because he's just like, I want revenge. I'm at that point where it's like live or die, winner take all kind of thing.
Does he not think that they're not going to notice that like he literally just did this in the bathroom 5 minutes ago?
I mean, he's like not leaving witnesses in this movie. Like it's just like he gets
in. What's the point of blending in at that point?
I don't know. It's not a good movie.
Like
just
so it's a movie. People in this clan of theirs, they're Foot Clan. That's what I was trying to think of. I almost said something else, but the Foot Clan.
You did.
They are a bunch.
I was trying to think of I knew there was like 2 clans and one of them was not good, but the other one was the Foot Clan. That's what I was thinking of. So they all wear outfits. They all wear these full body outfits. Okay, let's talk about a club. Okay, a different club of people. Let's go down a different.
They don't have matching jackets.
They don't
YMCA.
have. They don't. Yeah, they don't have. They don't have anybody with hair.
No, I think
none of them. Do they shave it?
Yeah, they're just a bunch of like rough guys and stuff, and he doesn't want to look like himself, and he was like a really like well-dressed, well-kept lawyer, so he's like making himself look rough, and like he gets a tattoo or something like that.
Oh boy.
Oh man, they're not going to notice that he has a fresh tattoo, like still spouting a little bit of blood.
I mean, it's like, yeah, again, it's not a good movie. It does have a really cool shot where he's like chasing some of these guys through a parking garage, and they literally go up level by level.
Yeah.
But the way they do it is, it's like they had a crane outside.
Yeah.
And they're like backing, like they're following him, and they like walk out onto this platform.
Yep.
And then it goes up, like, and
it's
a continuous shot.
That's pretty cool.
And it like he'll be going up, like walking up the thing, and it basically goes up, and like maybe they hide a cut in there, but if they do, it's really quick and you don't notice it. And then like it comes up and it's following him again now from behind. It's nice. A really good shot, and I was like, it's a good camera movement, good cinematography, and an otherwise.
It sucks when your whole budget
movie
is on that.
Yeah. And leaving Kevin Bacon with like this little bit of like tuft of like ducktail behind him.
They didn't fix it.
No, he didn't. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
So that's what me that reminds you of that.
I was gonna say it's not this movie bad.
I remind you of Kevin Bacon dying in a movie.
He doesn't. Spoiler alert: he doesn't die if I remember correctly. So
wow, that's a spoiler.
Do you know what this reminds me of?
What?
This reminds me of those really weirdly specific gendered memes on Facebook that are like, think I might be going through a mental breakdown, gonna shave all my hair off.
People actually say that?
Yes.
Wow. I've never seen this meme.
It's like the memes where it's like, oh my god, all girls do this. And it's like whenever you're emotionally upset, you dye your hair and cut it. Like that kind of thing.
Oh, right. Like
so you're just adding in
going through a mental breakdown, gonna shave all my hair off.
Right. Are you saying that
I mean, I've literally done that, so.
Oh, God. Is that why I shaved my head?
Not head,
no,
well,
I hope not.
I've literally shaved my head because I was going through emotional distress. That's, am I Britney Spears?
No.
You're the meme.
I am the meme. I'm just not a girl.
If you can be a meme, I can be a that really happened.
I guess it's not really, whether it's a boy or a girl or anything like that. But I feel like shaving your head, you don't have to. You can be anybody.
Yeah.
And
True.
You can still shave your head.
It's just those memes.
Randomly deciding to wake up and shave your head.
Yeah.
You might.
I've thought about it.
You might. We're all slowly breaking down, aren't we? But if you just wake up and you're like,
that's
gonna shave my head. You might I wish I had stopped for a few seconds and thought about it more, and to figure out a way of testing out the length. I just went for it, and I was like,
There's something about cutting your own hair. Like, there's just a switch
messy?
that flicks in your brain.
oh yeah.
Sorry,
There's a whole lot of things. Messy is one of them, but yeah, I get you.
No, like a switch just flicks in your brain, and like you just stop caring to a certain extent.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you're just like, all right,
Just gonna do it.
That's for 3 years when I had to shave my head for ROTC and stuff like that. It was just like, yep, I have to. So yeah, like you stop caring,
I got a good story about school.
Okay.
Ooh,
yeah.
go for it.
Actually,
Yeah.
So there was a thing we were talking about. This actually, shaving reminded me of
school.
School. So this is
I
not
can
when
see
I was
why.
in school. This is when I used to teach school. So,
Okay.
but we so last time we did a podcast, the last one that got published, you had your school story, and then I
Yes.
couldn't think of one, and then we did our episode 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But that's
Feels like
in the
7 years
archives.
ago.
It feels
Yeah.
like 7 years ago. It's in the archives because
Of
the
technical
audio
difficulties.
wasn't correct. But anyway, so I told a story about school.
Right.
I've forgotten what that story was. Something about school.
Yes.
I remember the girlfriend story where she
The
said something about
thumbs?
your thumbs. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh god. Yeah.
If you
Little
want
Thanks for
that-
bringing it
trauma.
up.
I'm
Thanks for bringing it up.
If you want that story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Thanks for bringing up the thumb story.
I'm sorry. You have beautiful thumbs.
Anyways,
It's your pinkies. I already told you, your pinkies, not your thumbs.
What's
So-
wrong with this pinky?
Nothing. I just do it to mess with him because he asked me on his stream once.
Oh, there's this thing in my stream community that I have small hands or girly hands, and then
Oh, that's right. One day you
Sevenus-
walked up to me and had me like you
Yeah,
like, tried to
we
measure your
compared
hands
hand
against mine.
sizes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What are you two doing when I'm not around?
We hold hands.
well,
Thank you very
well,
much.
That's
you know,
fine.
they were smaller, so it was like if I have small hands, then our hands
I'm a very bony person.
should match. Me
I'm
too.
basically a skeleton.
Yeah, so I figured the hand size should match, right? If I
Yeah.
had small hands. They didn't, by the way.
Yeah.
You can't see this when you're listening to the podcast, but the hand sizes, mine was bigger. So Sevidus walks in.
Let it be known.
Sevidus walked in my office when I was streaming one day, and I said, "Do I have girly hands or small hands?" I can't remember what I asked him, and he said, "No, your hands look really soft or something like that," and then left. So, anyways, I have a so I don't want to talk about the thumb story.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. It's
No,
okay.
you don't have to. It's okay. I'm sorry
It's
for bringing up
literally
your trauma.
this is your podcast too. You can talk about whatever you want.
That's right. So I don't have to talk about whatever I want either. So I told this story about school. I don't remember what the story about school was. Was it when I was on the way to a test?
That was you told that one. That's the one that got published. Was the car wreck on the way to the test?
Yeah.
Yeah. The last time the one that didn't get published. You were talking. We talked a lot about bingo and like school, like that
Barbecue
age.
chips.
Oh,
Barbecue
when I
chips
got
and-
sick. Yeah.
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 Played Game Gear
All day.
Yeah.
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 And that's where you found out I could do some fun voices.
Yeah.
6 AA batteries.
So, oh my god, it was crazy how the batteries those things takes. So this is a school story
Okay,
about
yes.
shaving,
Okay.
Okay.
which I didn't shave at school. I shaved at home. Anyways, I used to be a teacher.
Just imagine your homeroom teacher comes in. They just whip out a razor.
They start doing like the leather, like the strap sharpen on an old straight razor, and they're just like, "Well, today we're gonna learn math, and if you don't, shing."
Yep. Just kind of, yeah. So I used to be a teacher, and I also have bushy eyebrows, kind of. So I decided that I was going to take it upon myself, and not the person who cuts my hair, to trim the length of my eyebrow hairs. Now, mind you, I was in front of kids all day in high school, and we all know how high school kids can be.
Oh.
So I go and put the guard on, and I go right across.
Oh, wow.
I shaved. I think it was this left one. I think I shaved it. The left one, I think, too short. So it was basically there was no hair in the
Yeah.
middle. It was gone. It
Oh.
was too close. I like did the angle wrong or something like that.
Yeah.
So I basically had a shaved off eyebrow.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
Oh, no.
Are you Britney Spears? Hashtag
Leave-
free Britney Spears.
I was
Leave
losing
Britney
my-
alone.
I was losing my mind. I was having a mental breakdown. I shaved off my eyebrow. No, so I had the side, the front, and the side. I was missing the middle part. So I was like flipping out because this is before school that day.
Oh no. You didn't even have like a night to grow a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I didn't have any time. I was hoping maybe it would, on the way I could coax some hair to grow on the drive
Just
in.
keep rubbing it.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
I have another good story about coaxing the hair from my chin. When people ask me how I grow such a nice beard,
Right.
I'll tell you that at another time. But so anyways, I was like, so I lived with another guy who owned the house because I rented a room.
Right.
And so it was just me and him. He didn't wear makeup. I didn't wear makeup. I don't wear makeup still. But you can wear makeup. I don't care.
It's good for being on camera. Yeah.
He never wore makeup. So
Wait, if you don't wear makeup, then why do you have baby powder in your office?
Oh, I definitely put that in my face.
Okay,
Until I
cool.
realized that it can be in your lungs and be bad. So then I stopped.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need
Talc powder.
I have I need to find something that because my face gets really shiny, especially when I have lights on in the studio.
Right.
I'll hit you up
Especially
later.
my nose.
Yeah.
And I want to put something on it sometimes to help
Just
with that.
kinda give you a
And I
little
was
matte.
putting baby powder on, not a long time. Probably
Yeah.
I don't know, 20, 25 times total.
For a minute, I thought you were about, like 20, 25 years worth.
But then I found out that because it goes on my face, I try not to put too much on there.
Right.
But I definitely have breathed a little bit in, and I'm like flipping out about it because I'm like, what if I'm gonna have
you're
baby
okay.
powder in my lungs?
It has to be like years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't years.
I'm gonna send you a
luckily.
link to something that you can use instead.
Awesome. It's gonna have one of those big things in the cartoons that go right in your face.
No, it won't.
Oh, that's
But
too bad. Anyways, I was looking forward to that. So I'm missing.
Action.
I was missing part of my my eyebrow. So nobody has makeup in
Yeah.
the whole place. And I also realized in the middle of these stories, I tend to get louder when I'm
You're
when
good.
I'm when I'm capitulating. So anyways, I'm looking around. I have nothing. But we know what I do have: a mechanical pencil.
No.
Yes.
No.
So I find the mechanical pencil, 7 millimeters, and I draw in
with pencil?
with pencil. I didn't have anything else. So if I had a marker, it would.
Was it showing up?
Yeah. It was definitely showing up. It filled in the gaps. I'm not
Oh
even
my
kidding. It filled in
God.
the gaps. The color was close enough that it was dark.
Yeah.
Right. And I just sat there and just filled it in. So
Like give yourself an accidental tattoo because you're just been stabbing
there's
graphite in.
there's a permanent eyebrow under there now, forever, because I did. Because
And
I
you
did-
have lead poisoning.
Yeah. So I'm on the way so I lived in Tennessee and I was in Nashville and it gets hot there.
Right.
And so sweat and stuff. So I go to school. First period, nobody says anything.
Right.
Not that nobody noticed anything. Nobody said anything. And between every period, I had to go into my office real quick and then quick fill it back in, just in case it started fading away or I touched it or something. So like 7 periods a day, I'm like filling it in, running in, like I gotta throw it in, I gotta get in there. Nobody's gonna.
Oh my God.
And then I would teach marching band after school where it's hot and we're outside.
Oh,
And
no.
I was like, hope nobody ever sees this,
Right.
So I had to do this for like a week. It finally came back in after a week or so. It was fast.
You didn't find a better option over the course of the week?
I could have gone to the store and gotten makeup, but no, I continued down the pathway of mechanical pencil. It's funny because as you said that, I realized that I could have gone to the store.
I
don't
saw
know.
the look of realization on your face. You were just like, I mean, hindsight's 2020.
Listen, let's not Monday morning quarterback this thing, okay? I could have, yeah, I suppose, but I drew in,
Oh my God.
and nobody said anything.
God.
And this is
So
what I did.
all these kids for like a week.
They could have, or they could have not. When I backed
just-
up from the mirror, I couldn't barely tell. All I knew was there because I shaved it off.
I just imagine like these kids at this school have like this memory of that one teacher who for a week in like their senior year or whatever was just like, hey, you remember that time that, Professor Darkosto just like had graphite on his eyebrow. Like, it was a
Right.
weird time.
Yeah,
You yearbook photos?
May I gently interject with a little bit more hindsight here?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Lead.
It's graphite though. It's not lead. It's graphite.
Right.
I'm not that
right.
old.
No. Graphite.
Okay.
Fine.
I'm not that old. Did you response?
Semantics.
It's not semantic. Those are different things.
Well, people say lead when they mean graphite.
I got you. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Graphite.
Yeah.
Right? From some angles, looks
Yeah.
pretty dark,
Yeah.
well pigmented, right?
Yeah.
And then you shift it a little in the light,
Uh-huh.
and it catches the light.
I mean, I don't
And
know
it looks
because
silver.
there was eyebrow around it, and also
Uh-huh.
you're talking about like paper. This is my skin.
No, on your skin it'll do that too.
Oh no! Don't tell me that.
I
Listen,
just,
no.
now I'm imagining like the light catches you, like you turn, and then all of a sudden this one kid's like, "Oh my god, my eye!"
No, what I'm imagining is you looked like the Terminator. Like you got into a fight with somebody and like a little too much of your human veneer got scraped off
It's like a robot
on your
underneath.
brow
Oh
bone.
my god! Oh,
Today you are going to learn the math.
Also, side note, I just realized we're literally going to go pick up stuff at the store after this.
Yeah.
We will get you some powder at the store.
Oh my
That
god, that'd
will
be
work for
wonderful.
you. Yeah.
That reminds me, we were talking about old videos and people doing voiceovers, which
Yeah.
that was a thing for a while.
Yeah.
You just reminded me of Arnold's Pizza Shop.
I vaguely remember this.
Okay, he's like, "Hello, you reached Arnold's Pizza Shop. I'm not you right now. I'm not killing pepperoni." I got a bad Arnold accent. Where he's like, it's like this. It's like
I don't think
answering
anybody
machine.
has a good Arnold accent.
an-
Even Arnold doesn't have a good Arnold
Yeah,
accent.
it's an answering
Love you,
machine
Schwarzenegger,
message
please.
for calling his pizza shop. He's like, if you want pepperoni and 9mm bullets, you've come to the right place. If you want broccoli, shut up with the broccoli.
One pepperoni and 9mm bullets.
And there's a guy in the background during the whole thing just losing his mind laughing. And I don't know why they didn't tell that guy to go away, but he was just like losing his mind. We'll have to watch it afterwards.
Okay.
It's Arnold's Pizza Shop.
Okay.
And it used to be back when like soundboards
Yeah,
were
yeah.
a big thing. And back when they had the whole G.I. Joe overdubs. Have you seen those?
Yes.
Pork
yeah.
chop sandwiches.
Yeah.
Get off my ice.
Exactly.
Back then, and the X-Men, the Juggernaut video, which was like totally lewd and
Oh,
like
yeah,
completely just like disgusting.
It's bad.
When I
It's
think
bad.
about it now, but back then when we were younger, we're like just dying laughing on the ground.
Oh yeah, because when you're younger, you don't care.
And then it was the greatest because the X-Men movie came out and the Juggernaut said the line.
Oh yeah, yeah. Where he's like, "I'm the Juggernaut." You know, yeah.
Yeah, after he
X-Men-
busts through the walls.
yeah,
You've
X-Men-
never seen this. Oh my god.
X-Men 3: The Last Stand.
I saw the X-Men movie. I don't
But you
remember the
don't see
exact
The third
line.
one? Yeah, the Juggernaut.
I saw that movie, but I didn't see
The voiceover.
Oh, yeah.
They took
Yeah.
a bunch of the cartoons and they split them up like this Dragon Ball Z thing.
Yeah.
And then these I don't know how many guys there were or whatever, just did these stupid voices
Yeah.
over the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it was clearly they had never seen any of it before.
Yeah.
So they were just like, it was like the one-time take they did.
Yeah, it's
And
just
they
them
were
dubbing over. Yeah,
they
it's
were
great.
probably like high or something. I don't know. Anyways,
It's funny stuff.
But you reminded me because it was back in the day when all these videos came out.
Yeah,
we used to
yeah.
watch them at school between Mavis Beacon teaches typing class, and it was just all of that similar kind of like voiceover, like YouTube stuff. That was the thing to do back then.
Yeah. Oh my god. The early internet was wild.
Oh, yeah.
It's so fun sometimes to go back and look. There's a lot of stuff you look back now and you're kind of like, ugh, well, but there's still some really good stuff.
It's like when you watch old TV too. Like when
Yeah.
it comes to like some of the social norms these days, they don't really gel too well, I suppose. Like actually, Larry Sanders was a good example of this.
Right.
So like Larry Sanders is on HBO, so they could go a little bit further with some of the like the things it said or whatever.
Right.
Than like Seinfeld, but Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and Larry Sanders Show, in my opinion, are all the same exact like type of show. They're just like a show about nothing, but just in a
Right.
different place. So Larry Sanders was the late night talk show by Gary Shandling, and but there's a few things in that show that I watched, and I was like, ooh.
That did not age well.
That's a rough one. I felt bad for watching it, but I was like, then I think about it, I was like, I guess it was the product of the time kind of thing, but
it's kind of like they have DVD releases of the Looney Tunes nowadays, and they have a little disclaimer at the front of like, we don't agree with some of the statements being made by these. Yep. However, it'd be inaccurate and disingenuous to erase that part of the history of this cartoon.
Yeah. Right. So that they show it in their entirety.
They're being transparent about it.
Yeah, and I think that's a good policy to have. Yeah. Like I think, like you can't.
Yeah, you don't defeat things like racism by pretending they never happened.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So, but it was funny. It's not. Disney did that, and with the racism stuff, Larry Sanders was. I can't remember. There was a few things. It was just like. I don't know. It wasn't racist or anything like that, but there was some.
It's just some off-color jokes.
But it was the amount of rampant sexism and like just straight up like woman hating that was in '90s TV is kind of like insane to think about sometimes. Like when you go back and watch stuff, you're like, whoa.
There was some stuff. Yeah, there was some stuff you just so you grow up and then you see that and you watch and you're like, oh, okay, that's okay, and then you grow up. And then today, obviously, it's things are definitely not like there's this push for being equal and all that kind of stuff, and you're just like, but you're like, you think back and you're like, man. This is some crazy stuff back in the day.
I don't even think it's that back in the day, or at least I personally myself, some other people maybe, but I don't even think it's so much that like you think like, oh, that's okay. Yeah. It's more of just like it happens and then your brain is just like, I don't have an opinion. Let's move on.
Right.
Like, kind of thing where you're like, I don't think I liked that, but I'm not informed enough.
Right.
To articulate that.
I think it is that like, you're growing up, you're young. Like I was young. I wasn't educated about certain things, or I just didn't realize some situations or something like that. Yeah. So then when I grew up and moved to like college, and I started getting a lot more people that I knew, a lot more friends,
more context
from different contexts and different perceptions and all that kind of stuff, or perspectives. Then it's like then you start to see some of those things and you go back and watch and you're like, oh, I get it now. Yeah. So it's like tough. It's like a lot of times where sometimes you just need to kind of go outside of your little area so you can experience
get outside
things.
Your bubble.
Yeah, it's good to get outside your bubble.
That happened with me, like moving from the South up here. Yeah, like it definitely changes your perspective, and you just you grow. That's all part of it is growing.
Yeah. It makes me think of like we were talking about Palm Springs with Andy Samberg or whatever. And we were talking about
which is a great film.
How you were saying you think they might not continue Brooklyn Nine-Nine, possibly.
I thought I read an article. It was probably weeks ago at this point, or they were thinking about not continuing it just because it's true about police, and they weren't sure how to properly handle it. Right. So they wanted to try and be careful with it.
They don't want to accidentally make propaganda.
Yeah. Or just just be in that whole situation. So they may bow out or for a little bit.
Maybe,
or something like that.
Right. Yeah. We don't know for sure. But the reason why I bring that up is that, but I remember that scene that I saw, or the episode or whatever, like scene from the episode where like they actually handle racism really well and like stuff like that. And like
there's a really good scene in that with Terry
yuckiness
Crews.
And yucky.
It's good when, I like
it's my way of boiling it down because this isn't my podcast.
you take your platform and you just try to, instead of like preaching to people, it's good to just maybe have a show or a movie with these situations and just show a really positive educational way of handling it. Yeah. So it's not like, because if you preach at people, they're going to be like, they're going to like, sometimes people get shut down.
It's like telling a teenager not to sneak out.
Yeah. And it's like you're telling me what to do. But instead, like I've noticed that there's a lot more people are more open to, if they're doing something that may be a little bit, bad or whatever, you can just like educate them or show them like, what's up so that they can fully understand. Yeah, people are usually better.
Media is a really great place for people to vicariously experience situations without feeling called out. Yeah. So it's great like when it's utilized that way.
Yeah. You're literally giving them the idea without shoving it, you're planting the seed so they can figure it out on their own. And Brooklyn Nine-Nine is actually a great show for that. I love that show.
Yeah, I haven't really, I think I've watched like 2 to 3 episodes of it with you.
I'm like, I haven't seen this stuff pretty much since they moved to like NBC. But even before that, the way they handle things, that episode is from before they moved over to. It's just a good show, and I think that goes to Andy Samberg as an actor too, because even in Palm Springs, like the character he plays and just the kind of person that I've heard he is very much like, no, these things are real. This is something that goes on. I'm going to try to, like you said, Darkosto, educate without preaching.
Yeah.
And just it was subtle things in that movie that he did. Like there's it's not a spoiler to say it's a romantic comedy, so there's like the hookup-y stuff sometimes, but the way he approaches it and the way the film approaches it and the way his character is like
the characters develop separately.
they do, and then
It's not like a lot of 90s rom-coms where it's like almost weirdly codependent.
yeah, and even like you made a comment while we watched it, I was like, oh, the way he touched her was so gentle.
Oh yeah,
It's not
it's
like
really sweet. There's
yeah,
like a spot
it's not like
where
the
like
normal played for comedies
Right.
like interaction.
or too like weirdly lascivious, like how a lot of like Hollywood depictions
yeah, it's
of
very
like
lecherous.
romantic scenes
Right.
end up being very like you're kind of watching something like maybe you're not supposed to be able to watch
It gets
on.
uncomfortable. Yeah, but this one,
It was
and
like, oh, that's really like, oh, tender.
yeah. And there's
My
nothing
heart.
like graphic or anything about it. Yeah, you're just like, oh, this is actually really cute.
This is a very big emotional moment for
Yeah.
them.
And I would say that movie it's absolutely hysterical in general. Like the previews do it a great justice without having to like give anything away, which is a huge problem in movies and trailers and stuff. But this one does. It's fantastic. It's funny throughout. It has good character growth, good
Some
like
great cinematography.
great cinematography, which you don't think about in a rom-com.
Right.
There's just this one shot of him like on a diving board, and you know it when you see it.
Weirdly, a lot of cheating though.
Yeah, that's part of the plot too.
A lot of people cheating on people.
yeah,
weird.
but yeah, it's just a great movie, and if you get the chance, it's on Hulu.
Yep.
And I would say it's a Hulu original, and I would say, yeah, dig into it.
Nice.
That does remind me, we were talking about The Lonely Island before we started too.
Yeah.
Like a little bit.
I looked it up, by the way. I
Yeah,
thought they
what
won
was
a
it?
I thought they won an Oscar.
I
No,
thought they won an Oscar.
but they won an Emmy. That's
won
what it
an
was.
Emmy.
It was the
Okay.
Emmy.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was.
For one of their
Dingle and a
SNL.
Bingle.
It's, yeah.
For wait, Dingle and a Bagel?
Dingle and a Bingle.
Oh, that was the
It's my
song.
PG way of saying
Oh,
the title.
for in a
Just
box.
yeah, just
Okay,
Justin
yeah.
Timberlake. So, but it was funny because well, it's not really funny. I guess it's just really funny but sad. Andy Samberg's wife or significant other is a musician.
Yeah.
She's not one,
Oh,
Yeah, like
the
a
award,
like a
but-
legitimate, serious
musician
but he won it for
for that.
that
He
song.
got outstanding lyrics
Oh my
for
god.
Dingle and a Bingle.
Dingle.
I love that's a way better song name, by the way. Dingle and a Bingle.
And he changed that. Actually, changed the landscape of SNL for
Yeah.
like ever after that, because that's when they started doing the digital shorts.
Yep.
And there's a great documentary about SNL. It was like a multi-part like documentary series that they did where they did like each decade.
Yeah.
And
Oh, they everybody come in and do interviews and all that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and they showed clips. I think VH1 put it on or something. But like he talks specifically about that, and he goes in and he's like he goes to talk to Lorne Michaels, and he goes, "Hey," he's like he walked. He goes, and I knew enough about my career to be just a little ashamed when I pitched this idea, and he's like. I have this idea. And then Lauren apparently just looks at him and goes, just remember it's Christmas and there will be kids watching. And Sammer's like, we will use bleeps. And like from then on, they have three songs in that series.
Yeah.
And they're all hysterical.
Yep.
I mean, I have I think all but maybe their last album that they put out, and The Lonely Island is hysterical.
It's funny because they do these songs that are they're really catchy. They have really good hooks.
They're earworms.
And-
They really are.
But it's funny because they're about really lewd or crazy or just out there stuff.
Right.
And it reminds me of that song that was that song Hook by
Blues Traveler.
Blues Traveler.
Yeah.
Which is a song that is amazing. But the lyrics are basically saying this song is about nothing.
Yep.
All I have to do is just sing something that sounds really catchy, and
it'll
you'll
bring
love
you
it.
right
Oh
back
yeah,
in.
isn't that song you sang at karaoke that one time?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
Yes.
Karaoke.
Yeah.
Karaoke, and I was horrible at it until
You had a
a
cute
tough
little
song.
country lilt, and I
Yeah.
filmed it, and yeah.
because when
That's a tough song for karaoke.
it is, but I absolutely love the part where he like speeds up, like the tempo speeds up,
Yep.
and that's
Guys,
like
we should go to karaoke. Sorry.
oh, that would be great.
Oh,
There's
God,
a couple
I'm too
ways.
embarrassed embarrassed
No,
of
no,
myself.
there's a private room karaoke place on Cap Hill that.
private room
Yeah.
karaoke.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's like for
Should we-
introverts.
Yeah, it's for introverts.
It
Nice.
is. Yeah, you
like
can just get a
literally,
group
like only the people you come with
Yeah.
can hear you.
can hear
Yeah,
you.
it's really good. It actually reminds me of when I was in Korea, like the karaoke booths that they had there, which I just got a really vivid
Every
flashback.
time you say that, it sounds like you're about to tell me a war story. 'Cause you say it,
Oh,
and every time somebody ever says, and if you ever watch movies or TV shows, back when I was in, and it's
like
like they're going
70s
to tell
show.
you the story that was like a war story,
No.
and then you say it, and it always brings back these flashbacks of somebody who's just going to tell me some crazy stuff that happened.
No, I
You
got-
weren't in a war.
No,
when
no,
I was
I
in
was.
band camp.
When I was the bank, yeah, that's also the thing. I'm associated every time somebody says that,
Yeah.
last summer, this one summer is one time.
No,
Yeah,
I
sorry.
I got like a vivid flashback of like we got taken out by like
We
some
got
of our
taken out.
by
There you
some
go.
of our
There's
hosts.
your story.
That's
By
the
some of our
story.
hosts.
Wow, you made it back.
Yeah, who were just super amazing and
I feel like is that offensive? Because I
don't know.
Am I offensive to people who are veterans?
I don't know. But no, we got taken out by some of our hosts to karaoke. I was like,
Is this the time where you ate weird food?
same trip, different day.
Okay.
No,
That also sounds like it has like a weird, like a lot of like history to it. You know.
oh the
Same trip, different day.
yeah. But we went out and like we were doing karaoke and I was like, I don't know like any of these songs. Like a lot of them were like super like modern songs and I just hadn't been listening to any like I listen to Spotify now. Like I'm
That's the
like,
thing that you did. So you went out with some people that were from there.
Yeah.
And they took you to karaoke.
Yeah. So we a friend of mine who I went with is she was born in Korea and she immigrated over. She's got dual citizenship and so she's the one who contacted like our hosts and stuff and they took us out and like they rented us like an hour at a booth and stuff and I'm like flipping through and I'm like I don't know any of these songs and then I like looked at it and I was like I know this song and it was the song that Eminem does in 8 Mile, the one
Oh,
that
God.
like Lose Yourself. That's the title. So
That's
I
the
ended
one?
Up, yeah, like I
Oh.
I ended up rapping Lose Yourself in Korea in front of people I barely knew,
And I bet they loved it.
and like the people that I knew were like, wait, he can do that? Like what? Like like. 'Cause I'm not good at rapping by
Like,
any
so you
means,
laid
but I
it
know
down
that
real good.
I know that song well enough that I was just like
All
I
right,
could keep
next
up.
episode, Jack has to rap.
First of all your stories end up having these really positive, like, I didn't know what I was doing. I never sang. I never even heard the song, but I stood up there and
Right?
I laid it down and everybody
This-
clapped.
Nobody
is-
clapped. Nobody
This
clapped.
is the life that I like coexist in.
Are these real stories?
Yes.
Are you just? Do you have a book of stories? When you're on your deathbed, are you gonna have a book that you're gonna
I want to
publish?
live a life that people are like, you know what? He enjoyed it and he had fun. And I have plenty of bad stories, like things that did not end well.
But they still sound like they're from a script. for
Well,
a
because
movie.
I try to find the funny in those stories too, like those
I don't
bad
even
stories.
know. I don't even know that that's what it is.
I don't know.
I think it's just you just, and I say this with all the what's the word I'm looking for? With all the implications, good and bad. You were just dramatic.
Yeah, I am. I'm very dramatic, and that's fine with me. But yeah, no, I just like
So you did 8 Mile.
yeah, I did Lose Yourself. Like I just got a very vivid flashback of doing that.
Jack's ready, mom's spaghetti.
Yeah. And I was just like halfway through it, just being like, I don't know these people, and I'm just shouting like.
Did you do the arms movements and all that?
I did well, I was like doing
Nice,
the,
nice, okay.
like the up and down, like yeah.
You said the yes? Yeah.
But like that song has some pretty heavy lyrics, and it has some
Yeah.
pretty strong language.
Yep.
And
Yeah, it does.
I'm just sitting there going like, I don't know these people. I'm trying to impress them, and I am yelling out, tear this blanking roof off like
Yeah.
two dogs. I'm like, oh no, what am I doing? This was a horrible idea. And then like when they got done, and they were like, good job. That was good. Like you got up there and did it. And I'm looking at my friends, and they're just like, what is wrong with you? Like I don't know any of the other songs.
They knew you for before this, and they still said that?
One of them, yeah. No, like so the people I went with, one guy I'd never met until like we were planning the trip. The other guy that I went with, we had worked on a 48-hour film festival together, so we knew each other that way. And then,
have you talked to any of these people since then?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I still talk to. I even talked to one of the guys we met while we were in Korea too. There were these. We went out one night. After like the middle of our trip, because we had some heavy stuff happen in the middle of our trip. That's one of those stories where like I like walked away from that crying. It was so like hard.
Oh.
Yeah, because we were there for a film festival.
Yeah.
And
putting my jacket on. It's not raining inside the building.
It's a little chilly today in the
It is.
building, but
It's it's crazy. I've been I'm interjecting in your story. I'm sorry.
You're good.
It's been ridiculously hot streaming at home.
Yes.
Like it's way too hot. It's like 90 something degrees in that room by the time I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in here now. It's like 70?
Yeah.
Which is not that cold, but it's cold to me because I've been sitting in hot weather. My arms get so sweaty that when I put them on my desk and I take them off, there's a sweat arm.
Oh no.
There's like a whole bunch of sweat.
Oh no.
Yeah, the past few days, any part of my body that touches another part of my body, it like suctions onto itself. And I'm like, stop.
And now we're in here and it's nice and air conditioned and all that
it's
kind
nice
of
and
stuff.
chilled and But
sorry, tell your story.
You're good. I mean, it's this is a story that actually, this does
Story
not.
all about how
My life got flipped and my dreams got crushed.
Oh.
No.
Man, we had this like high point, and now and then we got into like
there's positive.
social issues, and now here we go.
I will bring the positive, I promise. But so what happened is
the amount of things I haven't said because I'm like, that's gonna get too serious.
No.
Gotta keep it light.
Yeah. So the short of it is I was going to Korea because there's potential business,
Yep.
possibly selling a script.
Nice.
Getting famous.
No, but
That's how you. That's kind of the energy you had.
yeah. There was
felt like this was-
there was
that was gonna
potential
be your
that this
makeout
could be.
breakout.
Taking a chance.
Yeah, and I put a lot of money. I bought my ticket. And I had money saved up for when we were going, and we ended up with two sets of hosts while we were there, and our first host was there for us through when we got through the film festival, and immediately our host like gravitated toward me, and I was like, that's weird, I don't know you. And like his like business partner, she like gravitated toward me too, and I was like, I'm just this guy who wrote this script. Like my friend is the one who's worked here and she's done all these things. And I didn't think about it at first, but they took us to meet this brand. Like there's a lot of brand sponsorships in Korea. Like that's just kind of how they do business. And they took us there and they're like, hey, everybody's getting these free products. We all got these free bags and stuff. It was like a cosmetics thing. They gave me a freaking candle that could also be used as a face cream.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? And I couldn't take it back on the plane with me because it was too heavy. So I had to just find some random person and be like, you want a candle? And they're like, oh yeah, I like this brand. And they took it.
Interesting invention.
Yeah, and it's wild. Like some of the stuff they come up with.
They sell candles nowadays where you the wax base is not actually wax; it's just solidified oil, and you use that as like a massage situation.
Oh my! But yeah, so we go there, right? And even these people are like, I really want to meet him. I really want to meet him. And then I'm like, that's cool, Again, I'm nobody in this situation. I'm even back home. I'm just this dude, right?
It would also it wasn't about you.
And it wasn't about me. This was about the group. This was all of us had something. Everybody was bringing something, but they kept gravitating toward me. And it got really weird in that same meeting when they're like, okay, hey, we're going to all take pictures together. And they unfolded this banner that they had made with the picture that I had sent for my bio for this film festival because I had been invited. And it in Korean had welcome to Korea, Jack writer. I just said my name. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to bleep that. But it had, and I was like, and it had my face on it. And I'm like, this is weird. So I posed for the photos, but I got back and we had this conversation. I'm like, that's a little weird. What's going on? And my friend's like, I don't know. I didn't know they were going to do that. Mm-hmm. And we started looking at it more and more and we all started talking amongst ourselves and we're like, this isn't right. It's not about me. It's about the group. and they had me come up and present awards at this film festival.
What?
Yeah. There is footage of me.
It's like some weird
He was crapping himself.
This is like some weird thriller horror movie stuff.
Yeah, like it was. I'm like, they pulled some weird crap. Like there was a red carpet. We were all supposed to walk together, and then they go, no, he's walking by himself. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like if anybody should be my friend because she's the freaking worker. She does these things.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we're going to have them walk with some kids. And I'm like, no, you're not. And they're like, no, we don't know these kids. We don't know this. Like, it was like a dance troupe that was there to do a performance or something like that. And they're like, hey, no, dude, we don't want to cause a scene. You walk by yourself. We'll walk as a group. We won't walk with the kids.
Yeah.
And so I did it, and I put on the happy face. I took some photos. I did like the standing, like where they like introduce you, and like they were broadcasting it on TV and everything. And like we go in and we're sitting at our table and they're like, okay, you're going to give this award now. And I'm like, what? And I ended up going up on stage in front of all these people with this wonderful actress who, thank God she spoke English because I don't speak Korean. I was learning Korean as much as I could there. And she was able to walk me through this.
Right.
And do the whole thing. And I was like, this, and and I'm terrified. And we get done and we're like, we can't work with these people anymore. And I felt throughout this whole thing so used. Yeah. Like it after.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. What?
I'm trying to figure out why this is all happening. Sorry, I'm just.
No, get into it. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So like.
I'm just like really like I'm like at the edge of my seat right now.
This was so like weird and scary because like
it was surreal.
I was in America still, and I'm like. I'm
telling
do
Gray
it.
all this stuff.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, like we're FaceTiming.
I can't do anything if something weird happens.
Yeah, and like our host lied.
Yeah.
He lied about all of us, and he made me this thing that I wasn't. He tried to make me like this famous Hollywood person.
Oh my God! Like you're like, oh, it's like Brad Pitt's coming in.
Yeah,
and I like full blown like went internet sleuthing, and I like found an article.
Yeah, that basically said that I was an influence to a Chinese director.
What?
And I'm like, no, they've misquoted me. That director is one of my favorites. He is an influence on me. This guy's career is so good.
Yeah.
He's a Hong Kong filmmaker.
And it was not a translation error.
No, it was
it was not the words changed hands and things got confused. Like it was.
So you got brought to Korea as
under false pretenses, basically.
As a quote unquote famous actor or something, or a famous
Hollywood writer, basically. Yeah, and.
But you were just going there with the script,
yeah,
and you're just trying to.
I want to get this made because it's got this tie to Asian cinema because I love Asian cinema and like.
Yeah, and the crappy thing was that like I don't know about the second few people that you met with, but the first people, the people that brought him on, were like, oh yeah, we're totally interested in what you've written, and they didn't
follow through at all.
They didn't. They
had no
intention.
Like,
this is the script right here.
Yeah,
this
I know,
is
right?
the script.
Like they introduced us to a few people, but like none of them were like actual like we work in this.
But do they
industry.
use you as a famous person to be able to benefit themselves?
I don't know.
It felt
still like
a mystery.
It. Yeah, like I know that I got word that afterwards that entire film festival got investigated by the Korean government.
What?
For like lying to a bunch of people. Because one of the things
that's surprising.
Yeah, like a bunch of people like sent in videos. Like we were all supposed to film these videos because we didn't even get to go to the festival. We got to watch one film and it was beautiful. Oh my God, this film, unfortunately our guy brought us in late. Yeah. He literally brought us there to show him getting an award. But I was so hyped. I'm like, I'm gonna see Korean cinema. I'm gonna see these films. This is amazing. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I got 15 minutes of a 20-minute short film and that was it. And I'm like, oh my God.
You didn't get to see the full 20-minute film?
No,
see 15
we came
minutes
in
of it.
late, like rude people.
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't right. The whole time it wasn't right. And afterwards I sat down and like one of the guys that I went with, we were like filming the whole thing because we're like, we want to make like a pseudo documentary, like a travel documentary. And I sat down and I put the camera up and I was outside. I was still in my suit because it was a black tie event. And I sat down and I cried for an hour and just like laid it out. I haven't looked at that footage since. I gave it all to the guy and I was like, if you want to do something with this, do it.
Yeah.
But like I lost and I ended up like the next day. We broke ties with them. We got our second host, which were so much better. We actually had meetings with them. We got to meet so many people.
Yeah.
It was such a cool experience. And the second half of my trip, I was just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like in that moment, I was like, I'm done with writing. I'm done.
Wow.
I haven't really written a script since, and that's something I used to love doing. Like I've touched on it here and there. Like I've written a few short things, but like,
that ruined it for you.
yeah, I was just
We're
like,
donating your whiteboard that you used to like.
yeah, I used to
you
write
have
out
a
like white,
whiteboard
like
where you would write down all. Of
I
these
got
ideas.
so disenfranchised with everything. I was like, I felt so used, and it was like, I can't. It's hard enough breaking in where I am,
Right.
and I just don't have it in me anymore to do that. And
Yeah.
like, I know that got kind of heavy and real, like, but like, I see the positive in it now because had I not gone through all that, I wouldn't be in this job
Sure.
because I would still be trying to do some other things. And I'm slowly getting back into the writing, and I'm like, I'm getting ideas. I'm watching some shows, and I'm just like, it's itching at me, and I've been feeling it. I have, but I wouldn't be sitting right here if I hadn't gone through that, because I'd be focusing my energy on something that I look back and I'm like, I'm on a much better path now.
Are you?
Yeah,
in
I
this
am.
room with some guy yelling into a
I am.
microphone.
Well, no, like you and I would have never met. And
Dude, do you know how much this creating with you means to him? Oh my god.
I do. This is the highlight of my week.
Not to make this too heavy or
boy.
anything,
No,
but like
it is one of the biggest highlights of my week, and like I have learned so much just hanging out here and doing the work that I've done. The stuff that we're filming in the other room and stuff like it. It is so fun, and I get to create in a way that I don't feel like it's going to be used for anything other than what we want to do. And it's such a cool thing, and it's such a great thing.
Unadulterated content.
Yeah, and
Hi, Darkosto. You're the bridge back to his passion and creativity. How does
boy.
that make you feel?
I want to watch Arnold's Pizza Shop together.
okay, we can do that. Yeah, I'm sorry, that got really heavy, but just it's not all like amazing stories. Like that was the reason why I think I've told you the story of how
There's-
drunk I got in Korea. Like,
Yeah, I've heard
that's
this.
because of it.
There's
Yeah.
lots of ups and downs in life, and everything. There's gonna be
Yeah.
the bad low times are what makes the good times feel
Exactly,
good,
and-
and it helps you redirect and
Yeah.
choose a path.
And the second half of my trip, it was amazing. I got to meet so many cool people, do so many cool things. I got to actually hang out with a famous Korean like TV drama star afterwards, and he's amazing.
Was he ironically not treated as well as they treated you?
He just wasn't even at the thing. Like
Oh.
he was working.
Right.
And like I just got to go like hang out with him, and he's like to show you how cool this guy is people were coming up to him like, can I have a photo with you?
Nice.
And he was like, I'm with my friends right now, guys.
Like
Like
turn him down.
yeah, and
Wow.
he was like, I'm with my friends. I never get to see this person because she lives in America, and I just don't. He hasn't been. And he's like, I want to be. And that's the cool thing too, is they were like, oh yeah, no, we completely understand. Hopefully we'll catch you again. It's not like here where people are like, "Woof, they blew me off. Like
Yeah.
Speaking of redirecting,
yes, sorry.
we've been going for a while, and there's something that we very briefly touched on at the very, very, very beginning of the podcast that I've had in the back of my mind. Thank you, Autism Spectrum. That's been bugging me really bad, so I have to say it.
Oh boy.
What if they did a version of Superman, like a show or a movie or something, where like they're all just humoring him for the glasses thing?
Oh, everybody knows.
Yeah.
He's just like, guys, look, it's me, and they're like,
They're just like
Yeah.
all in on it. Like they care about Clerk so much
right.
that they're just like
Like,
go
it's
with it.
It's this big reveal, and everybody's like, yeah, man, we knew that. Like,
No,
it's
like
pretty obvious.
like they keep it up. Like they keep up
No, I know,
the
but, like-
facade, you know?
Oh, even after then, they're like, he's
Yeah.
like, guys, it's me, and they're like, yeah, oh,
Wow,
that's
yeah,
nuts.
like
What?
oh my, yeah,
That's
and just like the
nuts.
drama of like
Just imagine
having kept that up.
like the Green Lantern or something is sitting in the Hall of Justice, and like he's like talking to Superman, and then like Superman goes, all right, I gotta go back and like be like my alter ego, and he puts on his glasses, and Green Lantern goes, where'd he go? Where'd Superman go?
who are you?
Who is
doing
this
here?
glasses person here?
Why are you wearing Soup's outfit?
Yeah.
How'd you get here?
Yeah, how'd you get into the Hall
You
of
can't
Justice? Like
be
just
here.
like baby talking him, and then like he takes off his glasses and he's like, "Oh, Superman, you're back."
And Superman
you
is
are?
just like so gullible that he like totally like he's like, yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
back."
I know.
He's like, "Did you pass that guy with the glasses out there?" No, what guy with the glasses? Oh my god.
You know what's good though? He's like Superman is super all the time.
Yeah.
So if people try to come into his apartment,
Yeah.
then like if it was like Batman's in his place and he doesn't have his suit on and his
Right.
stuff, like
Yeah.
they could mess with him.
Sort of,
Right.
Right?
yeah.
Like
yeah.
they did actually in the one with the Riddler.
Oh
came
yeah,
into
they
his
like blew
place
up the Batcave.
and they knocked him out.
Yeah, they like
Right?
home ambush him
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a
But
normal
you can't
person.
home ambush Superman, so he doesn't. so if they know who he is, they know.
Yeah.
They still know not to mess with him because
And that's why it works so well.
Yeah.
That's why like Clark Kent can live that like perfect like everybody knows.
Yeah.
But they're just even the bad guys are like, man,
Yeah.
they play it off like that because if they did act like they knew, then they'd have to give him a raise at his job.
right. They'd have
they
to like
do
give
it.
him special benefits and stuff. And then
Yeah.
like the villains, the reason for not like, showing that they know or whatever. Like how are they gonna keep an eye on him if he suddenly knows that, they know.
Yeah.
I just imagine like I can't remember the name of his boss, like the one who runs the Daily Planet.
Yeah.
But like him just being like, Clark turned in another like really poorly written article with typos and everything.
What about the fear, man?
Yeah,
Like,
well, he's just like, I can't fire him. I can't. And so he just like
They just sweep it
he
under
just
the
sits
rug,
there and he
and they
like
just fixed
rewrites it to make
Yeah.
it better. He's like,
Yeah.
I was a reporter before all this. He's got a good through line,
Yeah.
And he's
That's a
but
really
they,
good
like-
comic. Is
Yeah.
Superman? Everybody knows Superman is Superman, and they live their life
In
crying in fear of getting beaten up, or he
or
gets a
him
little
just
bit
like
angry.
snapping.
Yeah, like he goes to the grocery store and the line's too long. Everybody's just like, "Please move faster." This guy's behind us. Superman's behind him, and he's just like, he's getting angry, and his eyes start lighting up with the lasers.
There's this guy
And
with
they're
like
like, oh
two
my God,
items in
oh
front of
God.
him, and like Superman's got like a full like 2 grocery carts, and the guy with 1 item's just like, you know what? Why don't you go ahead of me?
Yeah.
I'm not in that much of a hurry.
Or like if Superman like brings 8 items into the 7-item line, and somebody's like, "Excuse me, sir, you."
Oh.
You go
you know,
right ahead.
you know how like everybody like Clark Kent, like his facade as Clark Kent is like kind of like kind of dumb.
Yeah,
like
he's
in a
goofy, he's
cute,
quirky.
like
Yeah.
kind of like naive, or
Mild
whatever.
mannered.
But like, what if that just that and that's why he like believes that everyone believes him.
You think they'll think
he's
that's
That's
just-
actually
real.
Superman?
He's like Steven Urkel when he turned into Stefan.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
like he's just
His real,
like
it was real. His real persona was like the quirky, silly, geeky guy, but then he played the whole like
the
Yeah.
super guy. But this is Clark Kent. He's really that.
because
He's
that's
really
that
that.
sweet little baby innocent Clark Kent's idea of like what he should be when he's
Yeah.
being super.
Right. Right.
I don't know why, but that reminds me of there's an animated like movie or whatever with Superman, and he like walks into like it's the Death of Superman movie, and so like Superman has been replaced by robots by Lex Luthor, like robotic versions.
Oh, okay.
At one point it's a weird movie, but like
Yeah.
he can be controlled by a chip in his brain, right, in his robotic brain, and like the Superman robot basically is like becoming self-aware, and at one point he just walks into like a barber shop,
Yeah.
and like everybody's just like, what is Superman doing here? And then he like looks in the mirror,
Does the
uses
robot
his
does the robot need a haircut?
no. He knows there's a chip controlling him in his brain.
Yeah.
So he looks in the mirror, uses his laser vision to bounce a
No, he doesn't.
laser
No.
off the mirror into his brain to destroy the chip. He quits. He heals himself. He looks and goes, "Thank you," and walks out. And like everybody is just like, "What? What?"
This is ridiculous.
It is the weirdest thing. that whole thing reminded me of just like Superman and people witnessing him do like weird Superman stuff that only Superman could do. Like like when he's walking Crypto the super dog, and he's just like, "Oh man, I gotta clean up Crypto's mess," and like somebody's like, "Oh, Superman, I'll do that for you."
Would
He's like,
Crypto's mess be
There's
like
way,
radioactive?
it's like the person's just like, I'll help you, and he's like, no, trust me, you can't lift it.
First of all,
Oh my
Hold on. This sounds like Truman Show, but Superman is in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
But secondly, did you say he has a dog and its name is Crypto?
You don't know about Crypto the Superdog?
He has a dog. It's a super dog.
Yeah.
Why?
It's basically Scooby Doo.
Where's it from?
It's
Is it from the planet?
I think so. Like there's Crypto the Superdog. I think Batman had a dog at one point.
Yeah, but
how many things escaped Krypton?
Well, okay,
can we do the math on that?
Well, Supergirl's technically not from Krypton. She's from a neighboring so the Krypton, like the people of Krypton, like branched out. I'm showing my nerd here. And they conquered other planets basically. Like they were.
Oh, so they were the bad guys.
So
good that their planet
when
exploded.
their planet was destroyed, there was plenty of other planets.
Yeah, like their home planet was
Yeah.
destroyed, and that was where a bulk of their race was.
Right.
But they had like outposts, and there's some versions of.
But aren't they not super strong on their own planet?
Right.
they're
Their
like
physical
super normal.
abilities.
Were they super strong on other planets?
It depends. It depends on the sun in that system.
Did they know that? Why didn't
yes.
Why didn't they just leave Krypton and move to a planet where they could all be super strong?
But if they're all super strong, is anybody super strong?
Yeah, on their home planet, everybody was normal, and so they had like a bunch of technology to help
Right,
them.
but just like, why would you okay, let's put this in our setting, right? It's like if humans knew that if they could, regardless of the mass dilutes the product, but like if humans knew that they could go to like Mars and on Mars they could fly, do you really think that humans would stay on Earth?
There's like government stuff about it too. Like some of the comics touch on like the fact that only the government knows. Like normal people don't know. It's only scientists in the government of Krypton
That sounds like
that
a
know.
lot of retconning.
Superman is full of retconning. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Superman sucks. You know why? Because first of all, he sucks.
He does. He's not my favorite hero by far.
Because he's so not
boring.
fun to watch.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
like really super.
Yeah,
And he's just like the worst because
that's why I like the new Superman,
They
or
had
at
to
least
come
the
out
one
with,
from
like-
Man of Steel.
yeah, they had to come out with reasons to. You mean the Zack Snyder ones?
Yeah, like those movies have their faults. But the Man of Steel and I love the
like-
grumbling
I
face you
think
just.
I think you're about to get canceled.
These
on the
movies,
internet.
are just like disaster after. It's like it's just
Oh, no,
not
they are.
disaster because they are a disaster, but it's just like the movies are. It's like I get like a headache when watching those movies.
Oh no, I'm not saying they're good movies. I'm saying
What was
I like
the horror movie we watched that's like based on like evil
Brightburn?
Superman? Yeah,
Yeah.
I really liked that.
It
I
was a
would
good
like
concept.
Superman more
if he was Brightburn.
if he were corruptible
Well, and see
by his
that's,
own powers.
That's why I liked the Zack Snyder Superman, is because the way they wrote him, he's not a Kryptonian. He's not this super person. He's just a guy, and he's trying
Wait,
to.
is he not from Krypton anymore?
No, he is.
Okay,
but
so he is a Kryptonian.
But he's raised on Earth, and like
Okay.
all these versions of Superman that we see are like, but he's this infallible person. He's all these things.
Right,
Whereas
he's just
in
like born godly.
Yeah, but
Right.
the version that you get in that movie, and that movie's not good. I mean, the whole line about "there's only ends one way, either you die or
So
I
you
do."
don't like the movie, you like the concept.
I like the character that
You
they
like the
created,
idea. Right.
and because he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure this out, just
He's
like
human.
everyone. Yeah, he's human, and
he
he's
goes through a human process.
and he's still doing that at the start of Batman versus Superman. And there's so much they cut out of that film that
Yeah, like
relates.
that whole scene where how he got the kryptonite.
yeah,
They're
like-
just like, I got it now.
Yeah,
they
like-
they show the truck going to the place to get put in Lex Luthor's like factory or
Yeah.
building, and then Batman's on his way, and then it cuts to his scene, and he's just like, got it.
Yep.
They don't show the part where he like sneaks in and like beats
gets
a bunch
it,
of guys.
yeah.
Or
I've
if it's
never
that
seen
movie,
these movies.
Batman v Superman, he probably killed a bunch of people.
Oh yeah, well,
Because he
and see,
kills
that's
Batman kills so many people in that movie. It's ridiculous. I saw him like flip some guy's neck over like
Yeah.
a table.
and the thing is like in the ultimate cut of that movie,
Yeah.
they explain why he's the way he is.
Yeah.
like they cut out.
He's
all
like
of,
old and he's had it. Right?
Yeah, and he's so afraid of what Superman is that he's willing to do these things again. And like, there's like all of Superman's arc and him figuring out who Batman is completely removed, and it's like, dude, leave that in, and we'd have a much better movie. I mean, it's 3 hours.
No, only Big Bang explosion,
Yeah, but-
sassy scenes, and then boom, boom again.
You know what
But,
movie? By
sorry,
the way,
we're going off on more tangents.
You know
but-
what movie had a really awesome like extended cut? was Waterworld.
Yes.
You ever seen the Ulysses cut of Waterworld?
Yes, I have.
It's like an extra hour plus of content. It actually makes it good.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great movie.
Did I have Waterworld on
post-apocalyptic-
VHS? Is that how old that movie is?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It was
came
like
out
a
in
90s.
Ding,
95
ding.
or something
Yeah.
like that.
And it
Sorry,
was
did
not
they do
well received.
extended version?
It was basically like the
VHSs?
director's cut.
It was there was like this is a weird one. So there's the theatrical cut,
which is horrible,
which
but
was
it was still good.
I didn't think it was that bad, but there was definitely missing stuff.
Yeah.
And like the polar ice caps melt, and then everybody lives on the water, right? And then you have the mariner. He
Right.
actually never has a name.
No, yeah, he doesn't throughout the whole thing.
So there's this extended Ulysses cut is actually taken from multiple sources. They played Waterworld on TV, like a regular TV, like major broadcasting network, and they had these scenes in it during the TV broadcasting that weren't in the theatrical cut.
Right.
So they take these extra TV scenes and they mix them with like a director's cut, like all these other scenes that were just not put in that they
Okay, yeah.
found, and they put in
that's
this
so cool.
massive Ulysses.
That makes
cut.
me want to watch it now.
Yeah.
And it's actually awesome. There's so many missing kind of gaps that are given to you that now actually make everything makes more sense.
That's cool. Yeah, there's that. They did something similar with Halloween, the original cut.
Oh.
But for a different reason. When they first put the original Halloween on TV, they had to cut out so much of it that it was no longer long enough to be put on TV. So they had to put in deleted scenes
Right.
to fill in and make it like
Another
an
movie,
actual.
basically.
Well, it's in the beginning mostly. Like the weird thing that the stuff they cut out is like the extended like first kill sequence basically.
Yeah.
But they put in like 11 extra minutes of footage for the TV version that you can only see on TV. Like even like I think the DVD re-release doesn't have it. It's the TV only cut. Now they've recut it since then, but like when you were watching it in like the late 90s, early 2000s, like on AMC's Horror Month or Fear Fest, they had that, and it makes the movie a little bit different because it's Dr. Loomis explaining more about Michael, which
Right.
is what is some of the things that like they pulled on for some of the remakes that came out, and like the newest one, which is really good actually. The new Halloween reboot is good. I'm interested to see what they do with the sequel. But we have Arnold's Pizza Shop to watch real quick. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, are you watching that on the podcast?
Sure.
I mean, we can watch it afterwards. I
Okay.
just was. You have to see it though.
Yes.
Right.
You just
Okay.
just look up on YouTube.
Yes.
Arnold's
Everybody
Pizza
look that
Shop.
up.
Yeah.
And then I think so. Last time we asked questions though from the audience, so maybe we can do one real quick.
Okay.
And because I don't have the list, but I do remember one of those questions was, what is something that you hate that everybody else loves?
Musicals
Yes.
and Disney movies.
Yes. I remember like
They're awful.
They
Everything
are.
about them. I hate them. I hate their dumb, huge Disney boxes. Their dumb situations, their stupid stories. They're awful songs. I think they're the worst.
I love just how
They're-
quick you're snapping these off too.
They're really simple, vapid ballads.
Yeah, none of that
That-
makes sense. Why do you just singing this in the middle of the streets? I don't get it.
It's
They're
just
right.
nonsensical.
Yeah.
Breaks your illusion.
It's just this need to be dramatic in front of everybody, and then get everybody in on your song,
Yeah.
so that you can lead the song.
And you hate musical episodes. But I
Yeah,
still
I
want you to
do.
watch the Buffy one.
Right, Buffy has one. Family Guy has one.
Every show
all
But
has
these
I
shows,
really
think-
like the Buffy
Family
one.
Guy has a lot. Yeah.
I didn't even like. I liked Family Guy. I used to watch Family Guy a bunch, and back in the day, and I guess they're still going now.
I
didn't
think
know
so.
this.
Yeah, but it's
How
definitely
many
not.
seasons?
Seth MacFarlane left after like season 8 though.
Yeah,
Like, you can tell when he left.
So when they did musical episodes, even though I liked the show a lot, I still couldn't.
Yeah.
Still couldn't take it. There's a number. I think there's an X-Files one. I think there's an
Really?
X-Files. Let
Is
me
there?
look at this up really fast.
What?
X-Files. I feel like X-Files.
I mean, that's a show that was like ripe for a musical episode.
Was it?
Well, I mean, like all
Well,
their
I
paranormal stuff.
I
And,
still stand by contextually the Buffy musical episode. makes sense. And I would argue that that was the one that was ripe for that kind of thing. I feel like X-Files is like despite all of its goofiness,
it took itself too seriously.
It's a little too serious.
I get what you're saying.
Sorry, I was looking this up. Are you making fun of X-Files? I love this show.
No, I love the X-Files.
I'm arguing.
Oh.
Jack said that X-Files made sense to have a musical episode, and I'm
because
arguing
of all the
that
stuff
no.
And I get what you're saying, and you're right.
I don't know if it did or not. I remember there being a weird episode that just felt like there was like this. How do you describe it? They were playing other characters, or something happened, and it felt so awkward. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to look this up.
Okay. And you guys out there, look it up too, and send it to us.
I love X-Files.
X-Files is a great show.
They should not have made the last 2 seasons.
I haven't watched them, but from everything I've heard, I agree.
The 9th season was rough because Dave Duchovny, I believe, was out doing movies.
Yeah, I think
so there's a number of things, and then it just felt really weird, and he just left, and then I don't know. It felt like it was so good. It was so good, and they finally they did wrap everything up for the most part.
That's good.
And then they had the movie that took place after. But it felt like there was two movies. The first one was in the middle, right around season 5, and that was actually part of the series, the lore and all that. That actually was important for the arc.
Right.
But the movie that came afterwards was like a monster of the week kind of thing.
Right.
It was just like an other episode, but just a movie length.
Yeah.
But it was just like they didn't add anything. So they're not really adding anything with these new series. These new the series seasons, whatever, 11 and 10 and 11.
Yeah, something like that.
It's just to recapture that X-Files nostalgia.
It was like that. Yeah, we're bringing it back for.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that it was supposed to be a limited run too, wasn't it? It was only supposed to be like a mini series, basically.
Yeah, it was a handful of episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, and
because they were like, this is back when they were doing 25-ish episodes a season.
Yeah, those seasons are
day.
long.
I kind of want an X-Files reboot. But like how sometimes the reboot. I keep tapping my microphone. I'm so sorry. You're gonna have to edit that out. You know how they do like the
what? No, I don't do that.
the reboot continuations where it's like, oh, it's the next generation.
What sucks to me is that I really like David Duchovny.
Yeah.
And I would struggle.
Yeah, you would definitely
my body.
miss the characters that they created.
But I just want more of that scenario and that like.
Yeah, it was a great premise. The whole thing was just like it had like endless content.
It did.
And the conspiratorial nature of it. Like there are a lot of like Monster of the Week, like secret society, like the librarians and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but like none of them have that same like
they could
so 90s Mist in the Woods vibe.
Yeah,
but it was also like so serious and like it was so bureaucratic and things like that because like it was people working for the government who had to do and follow some of these rules, even though they didn't, even though they broke the rules a bunch of times, but it was still like the analytical side of it.
I want criminal minds with monsters.
Yeah,
there you go.
I agree. I think the thing that X-Files really had going for it over every other show is it could be really cheesy, but it took itself seriously enough to have a very like solid, like, no, we are
I love
a legitimate
that
show.
It tried to make you question, like, yes, these are fantastical things.
Right.
But are they real?
Yeah. And it kept your characters in this like it had its Monster of the Week gimmick, but it also had a through line of like, no,
although
we do have an overarching
I will say
plot.
some of the push and pull with Scully was like a little annoying after a while. Like after some of the shit she'd seen.
Yeah.
Crap she'd seen.
It's okay.
Yeah. And she just like, that's not real.
Yeah,
like,
you'd think after a while, like, you're always coming in just a minute too late. Like,
some of that stuff was a little annoying, but.
So
you have so many facial expressions happening right now.
I'm trying to figure out if X-Files had a musical episode because I remember this. I might be confusing with something else.
Like I'm watching your face
like
move.
The emotions going
like
on.
the Superman robot gaining sentience. Like you're slowly moving your jaw. You're
just your friendly
eyes.
neighborhood Superman.
Well, I didn't realize that Burt Reynolds was in an episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Yes, Burt Reynolds was in this episode. It's called Improbable, which is improbable. Sorry, and this is when I looked up. Did X-Files have a musical episode? So the episode. I need to go back and watch this episode because it looks interesting.
Okay.
Sorry, that was it. That was
you're
why.
good, you're
I was
good.
just there was not really a whole lot of good stuff going on. It's just that I was like, wait, what?
But
Yeah.
Okay, so I posed the question to you, Gray.
I didn't have an answer last time.
Well, have
and
you
I
had a
still
chance?
don't.
You
I'm not
don't
good
have
at-
it.
I don't. I do not hold on to things that do not bring me joy.
That makes sense.
Partly for my mental health, and partly because I just don't have that many grasping straws in my brain to hold on to things that make me unhappy.
Sure.
So it's really, really like in the moment I might be like, dang, I hate that. But like, you know, I'm not sitting down writing lists about
Right.
stuff not that that's a bad thing if that's how you process, if that's stuff you hold on to, whatever, totally cool, that's your thing. But I'm not sitting down writing down lists about like, you know what annoys me?
Sure.
I hate it when Sally picks her nails at work. I hate it.
I'm like.
That's
picking
one of my
out-
pet peeves.
I'm like
and
picking
you know
out
what?
one of my nails right now, and I feel like I'm being called out.
Called.
So yeah, I don't know. Like I'm pretty critical of like popular media.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know. Maybe that. It's pretty
okay.
generic though.
That's okay. I'm going to amend my answer from last time too.
Well, nobody knows what it was unless you release the lost episode.
Well, last time I said like strawberry shakes. Like I can't. I don't like them. But I'm gonna amend my answer. I hate iPhones.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I think iPhones are like the worst phone ever created.
What?
Yeah. I think like
It's
I have like I don't have any a hate for Apple. I think I do when it comes to
wait, that might be more justified.
No, I don't like
I love your face. God,
Okay,
I wish
what?
you guys could see.
What? Okay, explain.
I don't have a hate for Apple. It's not like a lot of
Right.
people are like, "Oh, I hate
Darko.
Apple."
Explain why
has
you hate
an iPhone.
iPhones.
As you pull over your iPhone, I don't.
Explain to me what the reasoning and logic behind this is.
I think they could be so much better, but they're not.
Why? What's
I
that?
do think they're not very user friendly.
They're like
I
if you
think their
don't
user
if you
interfaces are
don't
kinda
like
meh.
they like the thing is like with an Android phone or like anything else, you can still use it with your computer or a Mac. Like you can get it to work. It's a little bit of a hassle. I'm not gonna say it's not, but with an iPhone, you can't do that. You can only really use it with
It is kind of lame to be trapped into only being able
able
use
to like pair it
that
with Apple
brand's-
products and
Like
so
what?
like you can't like I can't take your iPhone and do stuff with it on my like Alienware.
Or like the whole
what, though?
iTunes thing.
Like yeah, like I can't
You
like
gotta have iTunes to
like
put music
I
on your
can't
iPhone.
I can't take that and like transfer files from my computer over to it.
Yes, you can.
And
Yes, you can. There's actually an app called Files, which is
but that's just it.
specifically-
I can't just do it. I have to get an app.
No, it comes with the phone. It's an
Does
Apple.
it?
It's an Apple. It's an Apple feature. I
That
can
used to
actually
not be a
plug
thing.
into my iPad or my iPhone a USB stick. I can plug it in a connector.
That used to not be a thing though.
but it is
like,
a thing now.
It is now.
So yeah,
but
now you have old, unjustified
Apple has
hate.
had character growth, and you're ignoring it.
because I just
don't-
I don't have a problem with Apple. I think they're a business. They're going to do things the way I do think the headphone thing was stupid. I think taking away the headphone jack in your
Why?
phone is stupid.
Why?
Because not everybody can afford Bluetooth headphones. And if you
To
like
be
Are
fair.
you talking about a phone that is $1,000 to $1,500?
Yeah, I was gonna
that's
say.
stupid.
I was gonna say to be
But
fair.
you know that's not the case with. So this is funny because the other flagship phones are just as expensive. So this is a common misconception, which makes me laugh
Oh,
because
you've
it's
got,
not
you've
like
got Darko
It's
it's
going.
not like iPhones are uniquely expensive. They are expensive,
Yeah.
but there are other phones from other
Oh
manufacturers.
no,
that
I'm
are
not denying
expensive.
that either.
But
That's stupid to
I
pay
find
that
it
much
funny
for a phone.
though because if you can't afford Bluetooth headphones, why are you then affording a ridiculously expensive phone?
Well, what if you have to choose? Like
Between
what if, like,
how
everybody
much
kinda
are
needs a
Bluetooth
phone.
headphones? $30-$40? You're choosing $30-$40. You can get them for $30-$40.
Why would you?
You're
What-
choosing
what-
between $30-$40 of Bluetooth headphones and a phone.
I agree with Darko in that like I have had free phones almost my entire life.
Right.
And like yeah, I guess if you're worried about your headphone situation, why would you buy an almost $2,000 phone? In the
Because
first
it's a
place?
status symbol nowadays too. Like it is.
But then at that point, like you would probably go into debt for the headphones too.
That's
maybe.
true. If
Yeah,
you're trying to
I'm
be
not
status,
saying
if you're
that I'm
trying to be
justified.
status, then you're gonna have if you're trying to be status, you got your iPhone and then you got your Beats headphones.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm justified in my I don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't know. It's just something about
Ripped apart, just taken apart.
That's fine. No, do it,
Piece
do it.
by
And
piece.
everybody out there,
I don't mind.
Do it.
I do disagree though that with the interface being not user friendly, because I've always found that iPhones, and not because I use one, but I've used Macs and I've used Windows PCs and Linux, and I've used a whole bunch of different devices. And I've always found that Apple products seem to generally have this like ease of use over everything else.
It's
I
like
don't know.
personally,
It feels like it's like a closed environment, so that
yeah,
which
but
is-
that's almost like what makes it weird for me. It's like it's almost like too sterile, and
Yeah.
my brain is like, wait, where's the rest?
like you feel like that there's a whole bunch of possibilities you don't have, but at the
Right.
same time, sometimes I feel like there's some security in those possibilities that you might be able to get access to, like because in some stores or whatnot for other devices, you might be able to get an app that would not. Well, I mean, it's hard because Apple does let some things in, so it's like
yeah.
it's not perfect, but
Right.
it does feel at least there's some security, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it's funny that you
It's
say that.
it's
I
almost
always,
almost like a I don't know. It's like
I love that I started this, by the way.
Oh, you want to rant? You want to be? This is a real rant. Because people give me a hard time on my stream all the time about because I have an iPhone.
Yeah.
And they'll do some Apple hate, and I'm like, okay.
Again,
give
I don't
me-
hate Apple.
I'm like, give me your reasoning, and
Yeah.
then usually it's. I remember this one time. Oh, you want me to hear it going to rant? Oh,
hold on.
on my iPad.
Hold on
Let me
before you do.
Let me
Oh,
get
sorry.
my thing
Yeah.
out. Let me
Okay.
get my thing out really
Okay.
quick because it's not that long. But basically, I think it's because of the way my brain functions when I am like reading a book
Right.
or on my phone, like I go into like this world
Yeah.
in my brain, and it's very intense for me. Like it's a very intense experience, and I think that the lack of stimulation that I get from like a super simple UI or whatever it is, or even just their general aesthetics, like it's cool, it looks neat.
Right.
They
But
look-
like when something is just like super plain and white, like my brain is like, where's
that
the
makes
rest?
Yeah. Right. And it's not going to be. It's not a device for you that matches
Yeah.
with you, which
Yeah.
is fine.
And it's
But that's a.
I'm
that's
in the
a-
middle. I'm pretty
that's
neutral.
That's a good criticism,
Yeah,
or whatever it is.
Sure.
I do have another criticism for the iPhone in general too, but I want to hear your rant first.
Oh,
Yeah.
my iPad here in front of me
Uh-huh.
has a paper-like screen protector,
Yeah.
so that when I use my my pencil, my
stylus?
stylus,
Oh, you can do doodles on there.
it feels But
Do you
if,
have
and
Procreate?
no.
Oh, you should.
I usually like to take notes and things on it, right?
Right.
So the thing is, though, that when you draw with a regular screen, it's just it's obviously you're drawing on a touch screen. It feels very loose and just there's no like tactile.
There's no grip.
There's no
Yeah.
grip. So you get a paper-like screen protector. Not only does it protect your screen, but it also feels like
Is that
a bit
only
paper.
an Apple thing?
No, I think they sell paper-like screen protectors for most devices.
Wait, so what's the rant then?
The rant is I'm talking about this on stream because
Sorry, I'm
somebody asked me
confused.
about what I use, and I said, "Oh yeah, I use paper-like," but you got to be careful because so when these are built, Apple pencils have these little like rubber plastic tips or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're plastic, so normally there's no friction.
Mm-hmm.
So then they last quite a while. But
Right.
now when you put a paper-like protector, it's adding friction, so it's going to wear it down.
Yeah,
Right.
that happens with
Faster.
our with my drawing tablet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny that you say that because this is where the rant comes in. Somebody goes, "Oh, it's because it's Apple," and I said, "Friction? Friction was Apple.
Apple
was
invented friction.
right, like it's
Apple invented physics just for friction.
It was like I was like, look, if you have a legitimate argument,
It's like-
but I was like, I bought
Excuse
this,
me?
I bought this screen like or this paper like screen protector.
Actually, it's built in so that way your Apple product wears down over time and you have to buy another really expensive thing next year.
Well, that's what-
they
that's-
do that on purpose. That's
Right,
totally how that works.
That's what I guess I interpreted it as. I was like, I bought a screen protector, which you can do or not do. But when you introduce friction, it's going to wear something down. It's not like you need to use it.
Yeah.
It's not like it's but it was like this is the most like out of left field, it's bad because Apple. And I'm like, what? That's not even a legitimate thing.
I get the impression that the reason why Imaginary Friend Jack gravitates to you and your content, and like specifically on that front, not as like a human being friendship kind of thing, but just as you're like, you know, like Jack loves to get into your chat and just cause chaos.
People do this. Yeah, you're right. People do this purposefully now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that
the ramen bringer has come.
I think that in the same way that Jack will make a joke and it's not funny, then it hits inside joke status, and then it hits what are you even saying status. I think that your viewers are maybe a little bit in that same category.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I think that Imaginary has just like really tapped into that and maybe made it a little worse, because I remember when we first came here to this studio and I would overhear you, I would hear you get into these exasperated rants of just like, what are you even saying?
Yep.
And I think you doomed yourself.
Oh boy! I
Basically, what they're saying is I've made your life worse.
I get but that's true. I was getting into very dumb arguments, meaningless arguments that didn't have any. That there was no bearing, and it was just like
they
obviously.
Just love seeing you exasperated.
Just people will come in and they will inject a statement.
Yeah.
And they know.
They probably don't even care.
It's a ticking time bomb.
Like the person who said the thing about the Apple thing, like they could very well not even give a crap.
Oh, they're probably just screwing me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but do you see where I'm coming from? Because if I'm like, if you have a legitimate thing, you can be like, the iPhone is bad because the battery dies faster. I'm like, yeah, well, that's a thing. But you're like, the screen makes friction and friction. I'm like, that's not a real concern. So at least bring actual concerns to the table. These are made up things that you're making up. Do you see what I do?
No, I get it. I get it.
You and I think too literally for the internet. We look at things on a very basic plane of like, that's what that is.
Right.
And people are like, I'm going to make fun of you.
Yeah, but you know what? I will admit to this. This right here, this is dumb.
What is he doing?
I'm charging my Apple Pencil, and the only way to...
pencil is sticking out of the iPad like it's like wearing like a unicorn horn.
It looks like you're holding a picket sign upside down.
Right, it's an upside down picket sign. I would never hold it because it would break off, but the pencil has the charger on the back of it, right? And it comes with this tiny little insert thing that basically is an adapter to plug into the wall, but the way to charge it or quick charge it is to plug this pencil so it's sticking straight out of the bottom of the iPad.
Like,
no, that's dumb. That's an actual dumb thing,
You know
okay?
what? You know what I don't like
You
about
can walk
Apple
up to
products?
somebody and just poke them with it.
You know what I don't like about Apple products that just like gave me a very vivid. Okay, this is maybe like 2012, so Apple products may have improved by then. But my roommate had a Mac, right? That is Apple, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like what they started with.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So she had a Mac for drawing purposes. And I remember I was like, I could never have a Mac outside of every other reason because it had this stupid magnetized charging situation where like nothing actually goes inside of the freaking laptop, so every time she like would barely move, the wire would just go flying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they still do that? Please tell me they fixed that.
It's magnet right there.
Does it still
this keyboard is
fly off,
magnetized
though?
onto my iPad.
Is it at least better magnets now?
It's still pretty easy to pull out and disconnect, because I think the point is though that well, I don't know what the strength of a magnet that you can make is, but
Before it starts messing with everything
I do appreciate the idea that if you accidentally pull on something, it doesn't destroy the cable or the computer.
True.
That used
I like
to be a
the
really
idea,
big thing.
but when it comes down to it, you're right. That the magnet, either because of limitations of like the universe or whatever, can be that much stronger to keep it from just like a light pull.
Yeah.
Right.
Usually, I think they had it where it was like a little insert, so at least part of it was inside the computer.
Like it was like just barely nesting into a little tiny.
But then it would just immediately pop off.
Pulls out.
Yeah.
Which
I remember, like I would be like, I want to order a pizza. Let me see your laptop, and just like gently, ever so gently holding it
Right.
like a child, like a newborn child with a splinted leg that had been shattered.
See, Jack, these are actual concerns that I need to
I still have a legitimate thing, and maybe this isn't on iPhone specifically, but it is definitely like something that the iPhone is notorious for, especially these days. And Gray, you might actually be able to back me up on this, is that they advertise the iPhone as a professional camera. And I hate that. Now, you can do some cool stuff with an iPhone. The movie Tangerine shot completely with an iPhone.
The blurring thing.
Yeah.
The faux bokeh
Yeah, the
effect
Oh
they do.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's because it's a big thing. It's a big like for streamers and other people. That's like a big. That's like the mark of a good professional camera or something like that.
is
right?
that it can
Is that
do
it
shallow
has
depth of field.
Depth of field, yeah.
But like I hate that they market it as like this amazing, like it'll replace your DSLR kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
and
that
it's
is-
like
there's
it
a certain
won't.
amount of like that's kind of a crappy thing about being a photographer nowadays.
yeah,
Is like camera phones are getting better,
they are.
and like you can take some pretty darn good photos on a
But-
phone. Like
Yeah.
no hate.
But you're not filming a major motion picture on an iPhone or an Android or whatever.
Unless
mean,
you
you
have a
could.
specific purpose. And like modern
But that's what the point is that you're
But,
not. It's
like-
a
Yeah.
general like you know.
But
Yeah.
people think that they can replace me with a phone.
or even
it
even
hurts
stuff
my
like
heart.
They feel like they can replace what we do with an
Yeah.
iPhone now. And that irritates the ever loving fire out of me.
There is a difference, definitely, and I
Yeah.
think that it's unfair for them to market it
as this like
not a
like
difference.
the whole
Well, that's
shot
one of
on
the
it.
biggest marketing thing. That's just marketing at that point, right?
Yeah, and so that's why I
True.
say it maybe not specifically on iPhone the product, but it's definitely part of the iPhone brand.
Yeah.
Is like that's what they do, and I hate every time I go past like one of the big billboards that they have downtown where it's like shot on iPhone and it's like this really amazing photo. I'm like, it's
Yeah, it
still
was
post processed.
Yeah, they do add that in the Apple
very small
thingies.
print.
They'll say like taken on an iPhone, edited elsewhere.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
it
it's
was
like
shot
post
there.
processed. Yeah. And it's just like it irritates me so much because it's like they're still giving the idea that anybody can do that.
I think at that point, you're more upset with the general populace of consumers
Probably.
who take things at face value and they're like, yes, I'm
Yeah.
not even going to read the fine print.
Technically, anybody could do that. You just have to have the software and the skill
And the
to do
knowledge,
it,
and
the
yeah.
knowledge. But I mean, it's a lot harder. But I've seen some photos that people have taken from back in like, the early 1900s, and they're all like creased and all that.
Yeah.
And somebody fully restores them and looks great.
Yeah.
So if you can do that with that stuff, you can do anything with a picture that any phone is taken.
That's true. You can make iPhone stuff look really good. It just takes a lot of work. I just hate
I mean, it all comes down to it comes down to the same things, right? Lighting, angles, all this stuff.
like what you're actually shooting.
You
what,
can take a good photo with anything. However,
I'm not saying you can't.
However, the difference between a camera photo and a professional photo is that usually a proper professional grade camera will take a photo that has the right dimensions and stuff like that. So like you can take a good photo, but that doesn't mean that good photo will look good on a billboard.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the difference, and
It's-
general consumer doesn't really get that.
Sounds to
and-
me like
I don't
you're
know.
both very upset that photography is being encroached upon. So you're taking your anger out on my phone, and I don't appreciate it. Okay.
Wait, why am I being brought into this and not even
It's
hating on
your
your
phone specifically. I'm picking up your phone.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Because
saying.
it's
My-
only your phone.
right. My specific phone,
Yeah.
not all the other ones, just this one.
All right, I'm chucking this. No, I'm
wait,
not.
Just wait until the new one comes out so I can buy the new one, please.
Alrighty, well, that was a fun episode, I have to say. I have enjoyed chatting with you guys. Gray, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Hi.
Yeah, Darkosto, thank you as always for coming in to do this. I know that you have some obligations.
What's happening?
I don't know what you're doing with your...
The Apple Pencil has a weight so that when it rolls on the table, it eventually stops because it's weighted to do that.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
Sorry. I don't know if you could hear that on the podcast, but there was like
Maybe.
as it was failing to do that thing.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I was gonna say that seems like what most
Pencils
pencils
do.
dispense.
no, they don't do that. Pencils don't have weights in them.
No.
But no, like, a
No,
mechanical
but I mean,
pencil
like,
has that
it'll-
little clip that you
Well,
start.
it's a clip.
No. What I'm saying is,
It still stops.
no. What I'm saying is, as it was failing to do the thing quickly, I'm like, well, I feel, eventually the inertia runs out. Usually stuff
Eventually
will
it'll stop. Friction.
Apple invented it.
Yeah.
Apple invented
Just
it.
like Al Gore invented the internet.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, I would
yes.
happily come back anytime you want me, but
Awesome.
if people hate me, totally get it.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. Well, where can those people that might hate you find
Vote
you?
me out.
Where can they find you?
I am either Inevitable Gray or the Inevitable Gray on most things.
Awesome. And you can see, the Inevitable Gray's photography because they are an amazing photographer. Some video work on their YouTube.
Wait, I don't have a YouTube.
No, the Two Tie Media YouTube.
That's separate. Don't talk about
Well,
them
but
here.
you're part of that. But
She ain't
Two
invited
tie.
here.
Two Tie.
Not two time.
No, TWOTIE.
Two-time in media.
Good Lord. That'd be a whole different thing.
She
But,
wasn't invited. Don't bring her up.
so that's where you can find Gray.
Yeah.
Darkosto, where can everybody find you?
I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Darkosto.
This is going so off the
And
rails.
Twitter, Darkosto TV.
And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, all those things. I've actually recently started to try to get all of my things under the Imaginary Jack
Nice.
label, so you can find me at imaginary_Jack on Instagram. That doesn't fit on Twitter, so it's just at ImaginaryJacky. And I've also been streaming Mondays and Tuesdays lately, doing some artwork, so you can find me on twitch.tv/ImaginaryFriendJack. Come and hang out, all that fun stuff. I want to thank you both for hanging out with me. This has been a longer episode, but it has been a very fun episode, and can't wait to get this one out to the people. I know you've been waiting so long. I apologize. This one, I've been
banging
watching.
down the doors.
Yeah, I've been watching the recording this whole time. It has been working. And I want to thank you all for listening. If you have questions for myself, for Darkosto, you can send them to theroasto@gmail.com. Thank you to everyone who has sent questions so far. We'll be answering more of those next episode. And until then, everybody stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, and we will see you next time.
Be good to each other.
Are you going to say goodbye?
Goodbye.